All right, welcome everyone to Wine, Weed, and Whispers. I'm your host, Taylor.
And I'm your host, Kat.
Hey. All right, let's get into our wine and our weed. So, this is my wine. I got some Cabernet today. Traditional, very much. What you got going on?
This is called Blueberry Mint.
Blueberry mint. That sounds very tasty. I want some.
It tastes good.
I want that. Yeah. We're going to have to add that to my bucket list. My weed bucket list. So since we last recorded, I've seen Sinners another time.
I love it. Do you want to know why I haven't seen it again?
Why?
Because I was like, I have to get Pale Pale Moon and Rocky Road to Dublin out of my head. I can't, because after the movie, that's all I wanted to listen to. That song is like a spell for me. Like, I couldn't stop listening to it. So I said, I'm not going back. You will not do this to me, movie. No. But even now, I find myself, y'all twins? No, we cousins. I was like, I said, this is why I hate Stack, because I would definitely roll with that dude.
Stack seemed like he a vibe. Like
wherever he would have been, I'd have been like, where's Stack at? Hey, let's go.
you know he the party.
Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stank? I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I need to be at the juke if that's what how y'all dancing.
That's what I'm trying to do, girl.
I ain't been at a party like that in a long time.
They had some fun back in them days.
That juke, I don't care nobody to say, before all that vampire shit happened, they would look like they were having a time.
They was having a time, girl. All the elements was there. People arguing, people dancing, people fucking in the back. Like, it was cool.
And then they showed up.
These motherfuckers.
And then they show, like, that's the thing about the movie. So I'm like, we really be minding our business, just trying to have some fun, trying to do our own thing, and then here they come.
You remember the dance scene where they was doing all the dances and the house was burning down, and then they was standing there watching? I'm like, that's how it be.
That's how it be. When you're black, you're never really alone.
As much as we try to be, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, when people say, why don't black people get their own stuff? I'm like, we had Tulsa, y'all tore it up. Like, I always
literally
say
burned
that
it the fuck down.
I'm like, we try. You all get upset and then burn it up.
Yes, girl. Every fucking time. Y'all done burnt some shit up.
I'm like,
it's ridiculous. Like, we don't mind getting our own shit. We don't care.
You know what? We try. Like, honestly, Sinners is the perfect fucking metaphor, or like the movie that says the black experience. You don't want us around, but then when we have our own shit, then you get mad.
Yeah, because you can't be a part of it. Like,
I'll never forget. Part of your shit, but we can't keep you out of our shit.
Yeah.
Sir, we believe in equality.
I'll never forget. Mary, he pointed at Mary, really? So how she get in?
They were like, that was the fun. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, reverse segregation is kind of funny to watch. Like,
it is.
The irony is hilarious.
It is. They just be so like, damn, we can't get in.
Oh, look who doesn't like being excluded from Playland. Oh. Okay for thee, but not for me.
Hello. They're talking about we gonna walk away real slow.
With that bullshit ass song. I ain't gonna lie though, when he got that Ireland music, I was like, now that's better. If you would have probably came with that, they might have let you in. Because that other song, I was like, ooh, please get off the porch.
I mean, it's kind of, they had the little dance moves. It was kind of going a little bit.
But when he got to that Rocky Road to Dublin, I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I need to go to Ireland.
Just a tad. They be lit.
They be lit. I don't know. I got Irish ancestry, so whenever I see Irish people doing like cultural stuff, I get goosebumps.
Yeah, they look like they be having a bunch of fun. Like that little kick dance they be doing, a little jump around,
river dancing.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. Oppressed people, we be having the best music,
The best music, the best dances.
the
Girl,
best food.
that's how we cope.
We
See,
cope through
that's why
dancing.
they food be unseasoned and they be off beat because they didn't have to cope.
You know what I'm saying? Like that food be seasoned and them dance moves be like crazy because it's all you got. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And one thing that people that want to oppress you hate is when they can't take your joy away.
Mm-hmm. They want you to be so sad. Like, I just can't. Like,
Again, in sinners too, black joy is not allowed in a
yeah.
white supremacist America. Like black joy bothers people.
Yeah. I also love the part where like the Native Americans tried to help them and
And they
just
ain't
said, fuck
listen.
it.
And they said, you know what? Have it. I'm out.
You got it.
They said, y'all got it. And I always was just like, I love that. I love that. You know what? I'm not going to sit over here. And that's why I said, I love it when movies don't make minorities be like magical or sacrificial. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the sacrificial Negro pisses me off when I see it happen in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they literally, or the magical Negro, like when they're there just to be the mystical, you know. And I like too, like even in other minorities, like I like how the natives were there. They didn't even give them like he's a fucking vampire. You know, they were just like, y'all might want to let us take care of that, and then they were like, you don't want our help? Okay, bye, have
It's
fun.
like, all right, he ain't what
It's
you think he is.
it's above me now. It's above me now.
And I love it. We ain't see them the rest of the movie because they was somewhere minding their business.
And I'm like, we need to start doing that more often. You know what? Fine.
Like, you know what? Since you don't want to listen, baby, you
If you
got it.
want to go ahead and touch stuff, like, yeah.
We be trying to tell y'all. Oh, and speaking of we be trying to tell y'all, I know a lot of people are like very angry at the maggots and oh, y'all voted for this, blah blah blah. And yes, they did vote for this. However, I don't want to take too much attention away from the fact that that man stole that election. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He
He
did
cheated.
not get it fairly. So yeah,
Yeah,
they voted for it, but that don't mean they was supposed to win.
he cheated. Elon Musk, they all, it's been, there's too many conspiring stories that agree to how the cheating happened. Elon Musk realizing that, you know, he won. I think, I remember, I can't remember, I got to, since you know how I feel about sources, but there was a source that said that he was like, he looked at his phone through the Starlink app or whatever and was like, he won. And they were like, he had to have won or I'm going to jail. Because, you know, the attorney in chief is going to look into some shit. And, you
Yeah.
know, Kamala Harris would have been like, what is this?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I firmly believe they were like, we have to win or we're all going to jail.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, every time there's a recount started, like there's something that stops it. And it's like, why do y'all not want them to count their votes? What are you hiding? But you know what they hiding. You know, like it's like so that's why I want to stop. Like that's why I don't be co-signing that argument. Like, oh, well, you know, y'all voted for this, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, majority of America did not.
A lot of us did not want this. That's why I honestly get mad at Europeans that get all verbally involved in the conversation. I'm like, a lot of us did not vote for this. We don't want this. But I'm like, we're in a country that ignorance is the majority.
Yeah.
And also, people like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, you know, this was the election to storm the Capitol, but, you know,
Yeah. And let's be
I ain't gonna
clear.
lie. Like, I was like, oh, now y'all don't want to storm the Capitol. This was the time to do it.
This was the time, girl. Get your ass out there and do
Like I
something.
was like, it's on my thread somewhere. I hope it'll come up. I hope they would have put that in textbooks or hologram books, whatever the fuck they got in a few years. Oh, now y'all don't want to storm the Capitol. Okay.
It's some bullshit. But yeah, y'all, they stole that election. So we need to focus on that. The fact that a South African immigrant stole the election for a criminal. Let's keep the focus on what needs to be
And he's a fucking
called
criminal. He's a criminal. He's a convicted felon. He's a criminal. Period. That's it.
convicted.
It's not even
That
like a
should
diss.
disqualify you from running. How is a convicted felon the president?
Well, but again, it sets the precedent. But that, like, that set a precedent where it's like, okay, then so ban the box.
But it's like it's bad enough that you're not a politician. You know, you have
Mm-hmm.
no legal education, you have no background in this shit whatsoever. All you got is some money, and you don't even have that no more. So it's like, like he don't have nothing that would like put him in a position, you know, with merit to run for that, let alone win it. And it's like, but he's there.
And that's the thing, is that the person who genuinely on paper was qualified for the job, I don't, it's crazy, but I don't know. I just feel like that presidency is the epitome of white male mediocrity.
For sure. For
It is
sure.
like Donald Trump to me is the face of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like,
You can
I'm
be
just like,
underqualified, dumb as shit, undereducated, have no business being in the job, but because you are a white man with money, you can do whatever. The world is your oyster.
yeah, it just really fucks me up. But honestly, like with that type of privilege, oh, I don't know that being the president will be the thing that I would do. Like, I think
Exactly.
his, like your mind a little limited. Cause why would you choose that?
That is a worst job. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have, like, people that said I want to be the president of the United States. I'm like, I can't think of a shittier job. That
It's
is a
too
shit
much.
stressful job. Every president, after 4 years, hair was white as shit. Barack Obama looked old after his first term.
Girl, listen, I love you, Barack, but you look stressed when you walked up
You
out that
look
house.
stressed. I don't care what nobody say. That man definitely aged in that office. Like, that man went from brown hair to gray in 2 terms.
Yeah, and
You can't tell me that
he
job
wouldn't
isn't
have aged
stressful.
like that if he wasn't in that White House. You can't
You
tell
know
me
what I'm
nothing.
saying? I just feel like when you are in that job, you age hard. But I'm like, you're leading a literal country, and it don't matter what you do. Somebody gonna hate your ass.
Somebody's gonna hate you, and a lot of people don't understand that the president most of the power that the president has is in the image. Like it really ain't even like he has power, but a lot of times the president is like a figurehead, a puppet. Like
Yeah,
he got to do what other people want him to do,
right. And until people start understanding, that's the thing. People don't understand the government. People do not understand the government. That's the
and
serious
they don't
thing.
want you to.
And
That's
they
what
don't
y'all
want
need to
to.
get.
And they don't want you to. But a lot of people, like, when you try to tell them, like even when Donald Trump got impeached, there were so many people who did not understand being impeached versus being like booted from
Removed.
office.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they were saying he got impeached. He wasn't removed. I said, no, he's been impeached. He's been impeached twice. He just
Yeah.
never got removed. We've never had a
Which is dumb
president
as
do that
hell.
shit twice and still not get removed. But I was like, this is why we're in the situation that we're in. People are sitting up here getting in the voting booth and don't know what the fuck that they're talking about. You mad about shit and you don't know what you're talking about. And we all saw that clear as day on
Mm-hmm.
November 5th, 2024,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody was Googling, what is a tariff? And I think that's what made me the most mad, is I was like, now you Google the day after. You should have been Googling that shit in the fucking voting booth, you stupid idiots. And the
I
problem
wanna.
is that I do feel like I would have loved to see if more people would have voted intelligently. I wasn't going to say
Mm-hmm.
it, but I am. If people would have voted with informed opinions and intelligently, I
Mm-hmm.
wonder what would have happened had people genuinely had voted for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
What would have happened with the cheating then?
I just wanna. I wanna say open the schools, but the schools are open.
They are
Like
open, but
it's
you
just.
need to let teachers teach again, and you need
Yeah.
to hold parents accountable again. And you have to let kids fail. We have to let kids fail. Honestly,
Please let them fail.
we need to start leaving these kids behind. Maybe if you are 17 in ninth grade, I don't know. I feel like once you get to 16 and you still in ninth grade, maybe we need to reevaluate some things. What the hell are you
Yeah.
doing? Because it
When
ain't
you're not
good.
in the classes with your friends, when you're not going to prom, when all your friends go to prom, you'll straighten up.
And I don't know. I just feel like we are so afraid of kids having consequences. I don't know. I just think it's a lot. People want to be trad wives. People also want to make money. It's a mess. It's just a hot ass mess. We've lost the plot so bad. I don't even know where to get it back.
It's just like for certain classes, because I know for me, government was required, like undergrad and high school. It was
Yes,
required. We was
required.
taking social studies all through elementary school, middle school, and we still had to take a specific government class for Georgia and for the USA. So I'm confused as to like how this type of stuff is required yet or was required yet people are walking around as stupid as they are. I don't under Are we blaming the internet? Should we blame the internet?
No, because people be running away from Google like the Black Plague. If you
Okay.
tell someone to Google something, they're like, no, that's fake news. But here's this TikTok video from this random person that I don't know, and they sound convincing. I think this person's right, and they have a nice backing track, so I'm going to do that. And again, and people also don't have media literacy. There's no media
They don't.
literacy. And I have to remind myself, most Americans cannot read above a sixth grade level.
I can't stand that fact. That's the one statistic that'll make me sad, like ruin my day.
Exactly. And once I learned that statistic, I definitely just stopped arguing online. I stopped arguing with people because I realized, I said, I'm arguing with you. You don't have the comprehension level to even understand what I'm saying to you. That's why you're getting mad
Mm-hmm.
at me. I'm speaking words to you that you were like, this is bullshit to me. If you read at a sixth grade reading level, me giving you this college level essay on why these certain values you think are basically wrong, yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get mad. You can't comprehend it. So now, not only this, now you're both. You have to admit, A, I'm stupid, and then
Mm-hmm.
two, I have to admit that I'm wrong, and then three, I have to also admit you're smarter. You're more educated than me. I don't know. You have to admit I don't know what's going on. And people want to participate. Donald Trump made politics fun for people who used to not be able to participate because they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
For real.
There's two
It's
types of
kind
Trump supporters.
it's kind of like that Boondocks episode where like Barack was running and a lot of people just started to get into politics because he was black. And then
Because he was
that one
black.
and then Thugnificent
Dick riding
Thugnificent was on the little
Obama.
he
Dick
was on the little
riding.
news thing and they realized he didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
That was so
It
bad.
was
It's so painful. It's such a fucking painful episode, but it was
but
real.
that's how it is.
Mhm.
That's for real how it is. Like people just don't be knowing. They just see people that they like following the movement and yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's yeah, but I also feel like we also have a lot of people who are contrarian for the sake of contrary. Like that's the new thing now. Like I'm a disagree, even though it makes no logical sense for me to disagree with this. Like I remember watching Sneeko and Aiden Ross, just brain rot versus brain rot, back and forth. I'm surprised I still have the brain cells left after watching 5 seconds of that. And literally Sneeko, like Aiden Ross, who is a Jewish man, is saying like, okay, come on, Sneeko, just say Hitler was bad. And Sneeko is like, I don't want to just outright say Hitler is bad. Like, that's just a crazy thing to just outright say about a person. And I'm like, why do we have to have this discussion when you orchestrate genocide? I think we can kind of, you know, fine cut and stamp. You're a bad person. Like we're
Right.
past broken. Once you start harming to other people, we're getting to bad people era. Especially physically and like at the massive scale, you're a bad person. When your brokenness is hurting people at the mass scale, when you're altering the course of history because of your quote unquote brokenness, yeah.
I just I don't know, bro. Like
Like
I be,
couldn't even say Hitler's evil. Couldn't even say that.
but how? Like, look at the material.
Like if there's that's what I'm saying. Evil, like there's few people. Like, you can't call everyone evil, but there are a few people in history where it's like, no, that's an evil person. When you do shit like that, you can't tell me that they're just broken and needed therapy. Stalin
Yeah,
needed to go.
and like
Kim Jong
me
Un
as
needs to
a,
go.
I'm notorious for giving people the benefit of the doubt, but it's just some people that ain't gonna get it from me. Hitler is one of those people. Diddy, one of those people.
You
R.
know what I'm
Kelly,
saying?
one of those people.
Harvey Weinstein, one of those
One
people.
of those people. Dan Schneider, one of those people.
It's like it gets to a point where cut and dry, you are evil. I don't know why you were on this earth, but you were not here to be a good person.
Yeah, it's definitely giving stink meter. You just can't erase hell.
Why did you say nigga? When somebody make me want to crash out, my inner stink meter, I just feel them flare up. And
Not your inner stink meter. You think we all got an inner stink meter, or just like, do you think everybody has like the potential to be evil?
yes, that's
Okay.
why being human is so freaky, because a lot of us, we all have the capability, but a lot of us have that thing in our brain that says consequences. It's really not socially acceptable to do this. This is going to have lasting impacts on multiple people, but we're
Yeah.
normal people with consciences. When you don't have a conscience and you don't operate with the same wiring systems as most people, that's why serial killers, I think, are so interesting to people, because it's like you really sat there and just said, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to just kill
Right. Like
people.
you don't give a fuck.
And you were excited doing it. I don't want to ever have to take someone's life. I ain't saying that I won't if pushed to certain circumstances, but that's not something that I would particularly enjoy doing, because human life is precious.
Yeah.
You only get one version of someone.
Right. You're
So,
not wrong. Yeah, I think we all have the potential to be evil. Um, but I just feel like I do feel like people are born like inherently good though. Like I don't think anybody wants to cause turmoil in their own lives or in other people's lives. I just think like they're born and something turned that switch on. I don't know.
villain origin story.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's like some people
yeah,
you don't even care to hear it because you done did so much bullshit. Like I don't care about your origin story. Like when they started trying to tell me
exactly.
about R. Kelly and his abuse, I was just like, girl, and like I
Exactly.
hated being that way. But it's just like, look at why we're watching this fucking documentary. Like, no, I'm not gonna be oh like no.
Pobrecito. Like, no, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that I'm a person who this is why I say, as a person, as people who are traumatized in our own ways, we didn't re-traumatize people. We decided we need to fix this and get better. R. Kelly had every opportunity to get better. He didn't. He hurt other people. And when
Yeah.
you hurt other people, and I'm like, you know what you're doing is wrong. I don't care. Nobody fucking say. He knows what he was doing is wrong. When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Yeah.
That's calculating.
Yeah, like what's
That's
wrong with you?
that's not a normal response. So yeah, when I saw people trying to act like, well, he was, and I'm like, okay, so then why did he continue to do it? He understood how that made him feel. So then why did you do it to someone else?
Yeah, and it's the links that you go to hide things. Like,
Exactly.
you know it's wrong because why are you hiding it if you don't think it's wrong?
Y'all killing me with this shit. Gail good, because I'd have been like, man, if you don't sit down and shut up, honestly, I'd have been like, security, get his ass out of here. I'd have had him put out. You doing all that yelling. I can't. When men get to hollering like that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am one of them people. I don't like it. I don't mind a man crying, but when you start getting emotional and aggressive like that, I want you out of my vicinity,
Because you can get violent.
because you can get
And what I'm
violent,
gonna
and
do?
that's a big dude.
It's too much for me.
I'd have had him taken out of the room, because I don't play that. I'm sorry. People that get aggressive when they get emotional like that make me nervous.
Yeah, because you kind of unpredictable now.
Yes.
So.
This is why men
Oh,
can't
and
be open. Anybody say
why?
that?
So why your little orange friend out here handing out pardons? What's his name? She
First off,
mad as hell. I'm
that's
just
not my
kidding. He
friend.
not your friend.
I'm like, first of all, that is one motherfucker I will not be associated with.
I ain't
Honestly,
gonna lie.
I'd rather you call me the hard ER than a MAGA supporter. I'd rather you just call me the hard ER.
But no, why he? What's his deal? Why he doing that?
Because criminals protect each other.
That's true. That's very true.
But you know what? You know what also was a red flag? When certain black men were like celebrating him because he was pardoning people. And I was like,
Yeah, cause didn't he party like Kodak or somebody?
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
That was last term he did that.
you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, we're pardoning people who genuinely did bad things.
Yeah, that wasn't the one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, why are we celebrating a president pardoning motherfuckers? Like, you doing it for black men out here. And I'm like, okay, but if Raheem actually like shot 5 people, I don't want him pardoned for that. I want everybody to know what the fuck he did. He should have some limited um movement
Right.
after doing some shit like that.
Like he probably should be, restricted.
Maybe we need to have a little bit of limited movement. One body I can give you, shit happens. But like once you start having I'm sorry, if you beat a body, I've got some questions. I'm
I
trying
ain't
to tell
saying
you.
nothing.
All I'm saying is this. I'm one of them people that I'm like, I don't mind dating a criminal, but what kind of crime are we talking here?
I don't know.
Would Trump pardon
All I'm
you?
saying is
It
if the
should be the
purge was
next
a real
question.
thing.
Would Trump pardon you? Or do you do crimes that Trump would pardon you for?
Wait, it's like I'm breaking up.
I bet you
Is it the
he didn't want to
Wi-Fi?
pardon Essential Part 9.
Hello.
He still said they did it after it was proven they didn't.
Still,
He was
like,
still
what's your
like, whatever, they know what
problem?
they did, but he ain't racist.
That man been racist, and a lot of black people used to always like celebrate him just because he was rich. But it's like he been racist for a long time.
I've never
Documented.
liked him. Even as a kid, I've always been like, ugh. Like, if people are like, well, he's rich. And I'm like, yeah, but imagine being rich and you look like that. You gotta be rich. If he wasn't rich, he'd have a different life. Sorry.
I never looked up to him when it came to like, oh, a rich public figure. Like I looked up to Diddy, honestly,
You
growing
know
up.
who I looked up to? Steve
Who?
Jobs. I was that kind of a tool.
Oh.
I was a Steve Jobs fan. I love Steve Jobs. Now I'm like, what a deadbeat dad and an asshole.
Wait, I ain't have the tea. Let me see. I didn't have the tea on Steve, girl.
Steve Jobs was an asshole. Like, I have heard he is mean, or excuse me, he was mean. He denied his daughter for so many years.
So, okay, he was a low-tech parent who restricted his children's access to technology, but he also had a strong, albeit sometimes distant, relationship with his son Reed. His relationship with his daughter Lisa was particularly challenging, marked by denial of paternity, intermittent involvement, and periods of financial and emotional neglect. Wow.
Bro, he got a paternity test and then said there's still a 1% chance this is wrong. So, yeah, when I found out about him, I was like, never mind. That's
I
why,
used to love
honestly,
this
I'm like,
man.
I just don't look up to celebrities anymore. Like, I'm a person now where I'm so, like, I enjoy their art or I enjoy whatever that contribution was for what it is as a
Yeah.
product. but I'm like, I don't fucking know that person. That's why I can't stand when people are like, I know them, they would never do this. You don't fucking know them. You don't
You
know that
don't.
person. You like their art or whatever that product is that they make. You don't know them.
Imagine how disappointed my inner child is looking at this Diddy trial. Bitch, I used to want to be you.
Quiet on Set had me upset for a week. I was upset. Quiet on Set had me just sitting there like it was all a lie. They were just as broken as the rest of us, just on
Yep.
TV.
I thought
I
it
was
was
like,
so happy.
great. So we're all just fucked up. We were all just fucked up together. They were just on TV and fucked up.
Yep. When I found out, this the one that broke my heart. When I found out how Monique treats her son, ooh, broke my heart. I said, not Monique is the narcissistic mom.
Is it bad that
No.
I'm not surprised? Is it bad that I'm kind of like, I can see it?
Oh my gosh, it hurt my feelings out because he got a TikTok and he told the whole story like, oh, she's a menace.
I
Like
believe him.
I know why he cut contact because she is a menace. His mental health would not have survived her for another
Yep.
year.
As a child of a narcissist, I will always stop and listen when a child says their parent is a narcissist. I don't care how charming they say that parent is to me. As a person who went through that, I'm like, you know what that person shows you when they're outside the house. If you've never lived with that person, do not argue with the people that
Don't
live
you?
with them about who they are.
I'm
Don't
so big
ever
on that.
argue with the once you start arguing with the person that people that live with them, you are in the full delusion. They got
Yeah.
you under a spell. When you start arguing with them people that live with them, know them, have known them years longer than you honestly, that's the warning sign. You're in their spell.
Yeah.
Y'all lying on him. What am I honestly always ask when you start saying stuff like they lying on him? What would that person gain by lying on this
What would I
person?
get from it?
Like
Like,
I,
what do I get
what?
from that? They broke.
And it's like if I am proved to be a liar, that's a hit on my reputation. And I don't want to damage my reputation. I'm trying to warn you. So
I was appalled. Now 50 Cent, I wasn't surprised. When it came to how he treated his son, like I was just like, he's an asshole. He
he's an
he
asshole.
he he says rude things about people who just died 5 minutes ago. Like
Yes.
I could never. I could never look at him like, oh yeah, he could never do. Girl, yes he can.
50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cent, 50 cent to me, I'm like, yeah, he's definitely a no exceptions kind of dad. Anybody can catch his smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I had a no exceptions dad. Anybody can get that smoke from him, including your son. Those men scare me the most.
yeah, and it's like I understand you saying like, oh, the mom poisoned him against me. I get that, but he grown. You didn't want to try like why he
The men
grown,
things.
and like, uh,
Me personally, I feel like as an adult, if you know that the parent brainwashed your child against you and you hold it against that child, me personally, you're immature.
yeah, because why are you mad at them and not the other parents? Stupid.
Yeah, you're immature. Like honestly, I'm kind of like you're immature because that's a child. They don't that's a child that was put into a very fucked up situation. You don't sit there and expect a child to make a clean decision when it comes to your parents being like me or him
Yeah,
or her or me. That child is going to piss somebody off because that's an impossible decision.
yeah. It's like when I'm watching like my soap opera Beyond the Gates,
Hmm.
and like she poisoned this girl against her dad for so long. Like, oh, he didn't want nothing to do with you. Whole time this man never even knew about her. She kept her a secret from him until she wanted to tell him about it and ruin his marriage and all that other whatnot. And so it's just like, but when it finally came out and her and the dad started to bond, she got a problem. Oh, you chose
Huh.
him over me. What you
Yep.
mean? What? I thought the whole point of this was for her to get to know her dad. Now you mad that she getting to know her dad and her dad is doing for her
Yep.
like he would have been doing if you would have told him something, girl. But you know who don't deserve no type of peace though? Out of all the fucked up parents in the world, Brian
Who?
McKnight, you gonna rot in hell.
That man, like,
You got a chair.
there is, it's one of those things where it's like there is a level of vileness that I'm like, that's why when he announced his concert, I was so happy to see so many people being like, ain't nobody going to that shit. Like, I don't want to hear you talking about love when you are an absolute vile demon to your children. I am always suspicious of a parent who acts like their child's their enemy. And I get that there's certain
Yeah.
ways, like the child might have had a drug issue, you know, the child is like a little psychopath, and the kid's like, I don't know what happened. This child just came out evil. It happens.
No,
It's
his
rare.
child had cancer and died.
You know what I'm saying?
And one of
But
his
like,
last wishes was, I want my dad to tell me that he loves me. And you never said it before he died.
you're a bad person. Like, again, cut and dry, you are evil. That's
You evil as
the
hell.
least you can do as a parent is tell your child, I love you. That is such a bare minimum requirement as a parent.
And the way that he flaunts
His new
the
family,
yeah.
it's just
Girl, when he
menacing.
posted about getting that little white girl a car, I said, I know you fucking lying.
It is so
Oh,
dastardly. And I was like, and that's why I think he creeps me out so much because for so long, oh, he sings about love and his voice is all croony. Come to find out, he is a fucking gremlin with a nice voice.
yep.
And even then, I was like, he always sounded kind of breathy to me anyway. So we
Not
didn't lose
breathy,
much.
bitch. Not breathy.
I don't care what nobody say. Anytime was not that good.
Anytime I remember like it starts at 1.
I remember back at one.
Back at 1, yeah.
Anytime, yeah.
Anytime.
I
Okay, yeah, I
wonder
remember
what
anytime.
crosses
To
your
be honest,
mind.
his best
Anytime.
work was probably when he did Martin's engagement on Martin.
I remember that.
That was probably it for me. I mean, I liked Anytime and I liked Back at 1, but that was his best work to me on Martin. Fuck that nigga. Like we
I'm
ain't
trying
giving
to
him
tell
no
you,
props. Fuck
it is,
you. You the ops,
yeah.
nigga.
Like Brian McKnight, like back at one, like especially for us kids that grew up in the 2000s, like that was like every wedding,
Yeah,
every single wedding.
all the teachers used to play it. It was cute.
You know what I'm saying? Like back at one, and then when you learn about that, and you was just like, oh god, not only do you suck, but you are like sick to my stomach, nigga. I will throw tomatoes at you if I see you in public. Type of suck. We need to bring back throwing
Right.
tomatoes at people.
Boo tomatoes.
I'm sorry. We need to go back to throwing tomatoes at people. I just think some folk deserve it. We need to go back to being like, boo!
We need to stone some folk. I'm down for a stoning
You know
for
what I'm
that shit.
saying? And for shit like that, like when you literally just cannot participate in society without terrorizing other people.
Your life should be hell.
Like, what
Mm-hmm.
are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like this?
Like Brian McKnight outside, you know, enjoying himself? Hell nah. Just throw some
Mm-mm.
shit.
Me, hey, it's Brian McKnight. Get him. Hey, it's Brian McKnight. Get out. We need to start doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Straight TV show style.
That's the one. Hey, it's Brian McKnight. Go get him.
that
Oh
shit used to
my.
that shit used to crack me up in cartoons.
Girl. Especially SpongeBob. SpongeBob was notorious for that shit.
Them in Bikini Bottom, they used to ride at dawn. gonna lie, living in Bikini Bottom, you honestly, like, you had to be strong because your neighbors was gonna roast the shit out of you. But if somebody fucked with you in Bikini Bottom, the whole city rode at dawn for you.
Girl, Bikini Bottom was a game. You ain't telling me shit.
Bikini Bottom was ghetto.
Straight up ghetto. That was the projects.
Cause I don't care. Them episodes, I was like, was there a reason to be that sassy?
I used to love when Patrick would have like his little smart moment. Cause he'll roast your ass now.
Mm-hmm.
They underestimated his roasting power. Patrick could really roast you.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie, the episode where his fake parents came over to visit pissed me off to no end. I wanted to fist fight Patrick.
Ooh, I wanted to bust his ass.
Cause
Cause no, you're not playing with SpongeBob like that.
I was like, not SpongeBob doing him a favor and you playing in his face.
Yeah.
If I was
SpongeBob
SpongeBob,
was
I
just
don't
too
know.
nice.
Mm-mm.
That's why he was crazy as hell, because SpongeBob was too nice. And once he got pushed, he just used to go the fuck off. And I'm like, that's because you being too nice, friend. I'm trying to tell you.
I told you SpongeBob is a Leo. My conspiracy is that he is a Leo my theory is that he's a Leo because I said that's some Leo ass behavior. I'm cool. I got your back. But once you push it too far,
Uh-huh.
because SpongeBob, I said he is the epitome of I'm patient until I'm not.
Right, I'm gonna bust your ass today.
Because he
You gonna
cussed out Mr.
learn
Krabs.
today.
Oh, Mr. Krabs,
You are hilarious.
Mrs. Puff was even like, I'm gonna let him go ahead and finish because I think if I interrupt him,
Right, like
I don't want to get that smoke. That's why I know wherever he said to Mr. Krabs, his mouth was so wide.
Mr. Krabs was like, I can't believe this shit.
Mr. Krabs was like, well, I never.
I have never experienced this. What?
SpongeBob was
Yeah,
the show that made me realize you do have permission to crash out sometimes.
you do. Hell yeah. You
People
can't be
really
friendly
will
all the
play in
time.
your face.
People be trying it. You gotta slap shit out of somebody sometimes.
You gotta let people know sometimes. Hey, I have a temper. I have
Girl,
a line.
when he went off on Squidward for not working, oh my
Two
god.
things in this house that won't work.
And then Squidward over here playing dumb. What are you
What are
trying to
you
say?
trying to say?
Girl, I would have busted his ass too. Get your stupid ass down here and go to work. I'm sick of you.
And why aren't you in uniform?
He played too much then.
I was
He
like,
played.
SpongeBob, stand up. Like, I was like, why did you let that man play with you in your house like that?
You can't do shit like that. You gotta get him. You gotta bust his ass.
That's why I didn't understand when people were like, when he got bullied by people, I'm like, you choked out your boss. Why are you being a punk right now?
You just gonna cry?
Like, you literally shook a dime loose from that man when Mr. Krabs played in your face too much over Squidward. Like, stand up. Quit acting like you weak.
SpongeBob know he could whip some ass. He just don't, and it be
He
pissing
just
me off.
don't. He chooses peace.
Yeah, fuck all that. And boo tomatoes. All right, but in other news, fuck you, Brian McKnight. But yeah. So let's get into our current events. So our monthly book for May is The Gentlest of Monsters by Sydney Leo. It's not out yet. It'll be out June fucking 10th. Okay, so make sure y'all go get it.
She made it easy.
Yep.
She made it easy for you.
So did. So yeah, that's our monthly book. This book to me is it's funny. It's mystery filled. I like that part. And it's also hella gory. Okay? You taking my imagination in different places. I like that. To the hella blood just every fucking where. I'm like, damn, his neck though? Like it's just gonna spew out. Okay, I fuck with that. So, and I see a lot of you In Celeste. I see you in her. Yeah. You that nigga. Mm-hmm. I fuck with this book. You're a great author. You're a wonderful author.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a very
Big
shy person.
dog. Big dog.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I was writing. I was like, hope this isn't 600 pages of bullshit.
My mama looked at it. She was like, "That's thick as hell." I was like, "It's about to be good too." My last book was like it was a pamphlet. So it
I like
was
those
like
books though.
it
All
was,
right,
it
you
was
know what I've
quick
been reading
read.
though, folks?
What?
I've been reading them Quan Mills books.
Why that sound familiar? Quan Mills.
That's some dude. He's the dude that has those most absurd titles in his, like, this hoe got roaches in her crib.
Oh my god.
I'm
Yeah, he
reading
ghetto. What's
currently
this?
This Nika Got a Small Dick. I ain't gonna lie, chapter 1, and I'm invested because the tea is hot.
Old Thought Next Door.
Old Thought Next Door. I
You're
read
not
Pastor
lying.
D.
This whole got roaches in her crib.
Do you know how heavy that book got? And I wasn't ready for it. The book got fucking heavy.
Pastors eat pussy too.
Read it. The ending is so out of pocket.
My
I
baby
read
mama
it
is a
in
loser. That's like the most hinged one. These other ones are unhinged. Tax season thoughts. The coldest thug ever. A thug's rise.
I also have Family Crackhead.
This man is so. What's going on with him? Is he okay?
I hate to say it, but the books actually be good.
They're good.
And that's what pisses me off, is that they're actually good reads.
I feel like it will piss me off too because this ratchet ass title and these ratchet ass covers, I will be like, oh, it's gonna be hella typos. It ain't gonna be good. Like,
Don't get me wrong. At some points, I am like, wait a minute. Hold on, I lost the, wait a minute. Why are we here now? But it's never so jarring that I can't, like, it's never been so jarring that I'm like, I'm putting this shit down. This is some fuck shit.
yeah.
It
And
genuinely,
plus,
like,
I like variety in my books. Hell,
I ain't gonna lie, because it's an easy read and it's just trash drama, you end up kind of having a good time. Pastor D
okay.
puts it too. I was sitting there just like, what the hell? The ending is so wrong, though. That ending, I'm like, okay, I didn't need that.
So it's a party.
Oh, it's a party. You will not be bored reading it. When
Would
you
it be
think,
cool to have a reading party? Like, is that
yeah,
a party you would attend?
yes, I would absolutely attend a reading party.
Okay.
As I get older, I would definitely want to do more shit like that.
I think I would. Yeah. As long as it's really like a reading party. Like, we go there, we read. We don't bother each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the main point. I remember one time it was undergrad. I went to a study party and it was freshman year. So when I hear study party, I really think we finna motherfucking study. I
Right.
get there, they all socializing and drinking wine and shit. I'm like, bitch, I got my books. I'm finna read. You know, like, and it was upperclassmen too. Like, I was hanging out with this girl, and yeah, she had invited me, and she was like, yeah, you can come over, you can study, you can do all that, you know. And I'm thinking like, okay, it's cool. We gonna study there, cause at the time I was pre-nursing, so I always had my face in the book because I felt like they only let 50 people in the program, and
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have at least like a 3.8. So, so I was like, yeah, I'm studying. So I get there and they not studying. I'm like, bitch, why would you bring me out of my house for this? Like,
Like, I have shit to do. I actually need to study. Why are you putting me here under false pretenses?
the hell? It was the devil. But yeah, okay. A reading party. Yeah, this Quan Mills character, I know you having a time.
I read This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib, and I was like, all right, let's see how far I get through it before I'm like, this is some bullshit. Next thing I know, I'm just, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. So when I see his books now, I'm telling people, I'm like, it's not what you think. They actually aren't bad.
Girl, I'm about to tell Erica about these books. She might have a ball.
Honestly, I think Erica would have a time, and I feel like Erica would have a time because them shits, they get deep at times, but then they also be funny as hell. Because sometimes you're like, but for real, like, what did you, what?
Yeah, I gotta tell her about these because she kind of like me. She like varieties in her books or whatever. I mean, she the one put me on Harry Potter, so well, not the books, the movies, but but I
Mm-hmm.
think she read the books though. But yeah, I'm just like she likes stuff like that. I was supposed to send her one of my past books that I read. I forgot to
Why
send it
do
to
I,
her.
why do I feel like Erica is a Hufflepuff, not even a Gryffindor?
You think so?
Why do I feel like Erica's a Hufflepuff and not a Gryffindor? Because I know people would say it because of how ready to go Erica can be when people
Mm-hmm.
play with her. But I'm like, no, she's sweet. I
She
think she's
overall
a,
like she a sweetheart for real.
yeah, like she's a sweetheart. And I'm like, I think she's like, I'm one of those people, I don't know why, but I can always spot when someone's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I took the quiz. They told me I was a Slytherin. I was like, okay, thoroughbred. The fuck.
Gryffindor, Gryffindor.
Hey, girl.
I break rules, but I break rules for good reasons.
I do that shit for fun.
That's why you Slytherin. And that's why we definitely would have been in the Harry Potter house. I'd have been like, hey, now come to the Slytherin dorm. No.
She ain't trying to come see her ops, girl.
I'm like, I don't want to see Draco and them. He already know. I got his ass from dark arts class.
Whoop his ass. Yeah, I'm on the third movie. I'm still finishing. Yeah, I'm on the third movie right now.
They're good.
But
They're good
yeah,
movies. They're
they
freaking good
are
movies.
amazing. And they always got like a real good message behind them, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm in love with that. And I feel the same way about The Purge. I'm a real big Purge fan. And
I
this
love The Purge.
you do? Good. Cause
I'm a
that's my
big
shit.
Purge fan.
Girl, I love The Purge. Cause they always have like a overarching like political meaning, and that's my shit. Like, cause address it, you know?
Well, the first Purge is one of my favorite because it shows like this didn't start off violent. They put people in place to make it violent
Yep.
because people were like, all right, let's just party. Crime.
Yeah.
People like, and that's the thing, people weren't, they that's why I said I love that they showed like people weren't actually in a rush to kill each other at
No.
all.
Cause
We
for
had to
what?
force that. Because
Like
meaningless killing for
generally
what?
people do not want to murder people. Like it's not a thing. Like we
Exactly.
just want to steal.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or we just want peace. A lot of people just want to be left the fuck alone. And like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean that in the best. Like, a lot of people just want to live their life and just be left the fuck alone. Just live in peace.
I would love to be left alone.
You know what I'm saying? Just they people want to be left alone. But that's why I said the purge always scared me because it's like the people who spent money preparing for the purge, them were the people you need to watch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would have always been nervous and been like I ain't gonna lie, we live in the purge world. I would be like, I would be asking people, so what do you usually do for the purge? That would have to
That's
be a dating
that's like
question.
you taking a temperature.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm.
would, me, I'd be like, I'm out the country.
I don't know. It is one nigga who kneecaps I want to blow off real quick and just be done.
And that's my thing is that I don't even want to kill nobody. I just want to legally beat someone's ass and not get arrested for assault. I'm like,
Yeah,
you
like
wouldn't have
I
to.
want to. I'm gonna shoot
Go ahead,
off
go
his
ahead.
kneecaps, and then I'm gonna beat up that other bitch, and then after that I'll be good.
Oh, I would fly to. It's a couple people I would go over to and toss them some gloves and be like, let's go. Not even gloves. We finna bare knuckle this.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
wasn't so worried about some crazy purger shooting me for funsies, meanwhile, because I feel like you and I, we trying to settle scores and settle beef.
Uh huh.
Like me personally, you know what my purge bag would be? I would have a legal fight club. I would be like, you know what we gonna
Ooh.
do? You pay me 100 G. You pay me one band, and you both pay me a band, and I will let y'all come to this little ring and y'all beat each other's ass. Nobody get killed.
That's what I'm
If you
trying to
kill,
get.
you're banned for life from the thing. But I'll let y'all can come and beat each other. We can call it hash out, hash out ring.
Hash that shit out. I'm down with that. Yeah, all I'm really trying to do is beat up them 3
You know how
people,
many people's bosses would
and
be in
then
hiding during the purge?
girl, I just want to beat up them 3 people, and then steal some money. That's the other thing too. Do not hide the money in the banks, because they had said that they was like, oh, they moved the money, and so it ain't no point in stealing. I feel like that's wild. If you want us to really purge and do what the fuck we really want to do, leave everything as is. Why is it
Exactly.
that you already keeping us? You saying we can't purge on certain levels of people, like we can't fuck up politicians. You already taking that from us. Don't take the money.
Which is convenient. How certain people can't be killed. I'm like, ain't that convenient?
But you remember that one purge where they allowed it because
Election
they wanted
year?
that. Yeah, they
That's
wanted
my
that
favorite
that
one.
one lady dead. I love election year. That's the shit.
I love purge election year. To me, that's the best one.
That
That
is the
is the
best one.
best one.
Girl, when he did that crip whistle, I was like, oh my god, they're saved.
I was like, but you know what I said? I said, you know where I want to be during the purge? The hood. Because I'm sorry, I want to be near the gang members because knowing them, they like, we don't want that other foolishness coming up in here.
They'll fuck around and yeah, because you remember they left that one nigga there, the white guy. They whooped his ass, girl.
God, I love purge election year.
And they laughed about it. That was the funny part. That's some shit I do. Oh,
I
do you
think.
remember? Huh?
No,
Go
go ahead, go
ahead.
ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say you remember on Girls Trip when she was talking about torturing the guy that was cheating on her, and then she was like, "I like to make a motherfucker laugh while I'm hurting him." Oh my gosh, she's stupid.
I still think about fucking Tiffany Haddish. That nasty ass. So now when I see somebody being creep, that voice just like will pop into my head.
Nasty ass.
Nasty ass.
Oh my god. Girl, no. I would argue that as of now, Girls Trip is my favorite movie of all time. Like,
It's a great. I love it because again, I love a movie where I'm like, yep, this would be me and my friends.
for real. And I love that the friendship was the center, you know?
Yes,
That and Bride Wars, the friendship was the center. But see, because my favorite movie for a long ass time was Titanic. It was, and fuck all y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, she ain't let him on the thing, and that's why he died. Let me tell you something, bitch. She asked him if he wanted to get up there, and he tried, and he was like, nah, that's a bad idea. Y'all
the
need to
boat
watch
would
the
have.
fucking movie.
Mythbusters confirmed if they both would have gotten on the boat, gotten on the door would have sank. The door could not hold them both. So she's not an asshole. But I'm
She
also
not.
like hating Annie for that is just misogyny.
It is. Thank
It's just
you.
misogyny. It's
It
like
is misogyny.
because I personally I have seen Titanic one time and I was like 4 and I have never wanted to watch it again. I think I knew then
Damn.
I hate romantic sad movies.
Girl, I can't tell you how many times I don't watch that movie.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then that nigga, I have a child. I just want to
His
like,
bitch ass.
you know what I'm saying?
Gonna take that
Yeah.
random baby. Nah, my part though, my part was when she was supposed to have got on the boat to like go away or whatever while the boat was sinking, and she hopped off. She hopped back on the Titanic because she was like, "No, I'm not leaving him." And he was like, "You're so stupid, Rose." I'm like, "Yes, this is so
It
cute."
and I do love it. Like he because he really is stressed out because he is like, I'm trying to save you because I love you. She like, I ain't leaving you because I love you. And I'm like, well, ain't this a conundrum?
Hello. Isn't this quite the issue?
But I like it.
But that's her.
I think I'm one of those people. I'm like, I don't hate Titanic. I think that I love the historical effect of that movie. I love the references. I just personally I don't like romance. I cannot watch a
Mhm.
movie of people falling in love. It bores me to tears.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, get together already. Come on, let's go. Let's just, where's the wedding? We get it. You're going to fall in love. We're going to have a fake out. I know. Just come on. Let's get to the wedding scene.
Yeah. I love like romance movies. The cheesier the better with me. Like
Except Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire made me cry.
I ain't never watch it.
You never watched Jerry? Go watch Jerry Maguire.
Don't beat
What the
me up.
fuck?
Don't beat me up. Let me see. Jerry Maguire.
That's where the saying "you complete me" comes from. It's a
Really?
really beautiful scene. Yes. And show me the money. You never show me the money.
Really? Jerry.
That's
So
Jerry
Jerry
Maguire.
Maguire Quan. Wait, why would they put that right there? Oh, it's Jerry Maguire. And it came out in '96.
Yes, it's with Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, okay, yeah. This the one. This the one. All right, girl. And where are you at? Pluto. Oh, you on Amazon? Okay, because I was not going on Pluto.
I was like,
Okay.
who's on Pluto?
Yeah, it's so inconvenient.
Very. Pluto be doing weird stuff.
I think the only thing I like about Pluto is that they got I Love New York on there.
I Love New York. I think they had New York Goes to Work on there too.
But you know, New York Goes to Work is on Tubi.
Yes, and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care nobody say. I used to watch New York Goes to Work religiously.
Yeah, you did. I
Oh,
ain't
I
never watched
love New
that
York
one.
Goes to Work. I
I
ain't
just,
doing that shit. It's in my head rent free.
I love Flavor of Love. I love New York. Like, girl, especially like I remember being younger and just rooting so hard for Chance. And now that I'm older, I'm like, that nigga was a problem.
Nobody was poking famous face. That is such a. I'm one of them people. If you know when if you catch a reference to Real Chance at Love, I Love New York, or Flavor of Love,
Ooh.
I immediately know we can be friends. If
Yeah.
I say "Give it up, delicious," and you are immediately on board, I'm like, yes, we can be friends.
Yes. Yes. And when it comes down to my mother, and when it comes down to my mother, Delicious put the tennis shoes on in the fucking crowd. I'm like, what? You are ghetto. I didn't realize what a Detroit bitch was like until I got older, and I was like, that makes sense.
I hate to say it, but I love a Detroit woman. Detroit woman tempers be like, this is how I know I'm toxic, because why am I attracted to this?
And you don't know now Detroit woman that done had a bad hair day, baby. It be done.
New York women and Detroit women have a special place in my heart.
New York women just it's something else. Like if a New York woman asks me if I'm bugging, like bitch, take me now.
Is
Bitch,
you
is you
good?
bugging?
I'm cool. I'm
All
cool. I'm
right.
cool.
So you want this boob, that boob? What do you?
I ain't gonna lie, that video of what's your name? YBG Dawn. I'm not calling you YBG with Zoe Spencer. I was like, God, I'm like, gosh, I have to date a New York woman. I just want to see her yell at somebody on my behalf, and I'm gonna be like, I'm about to freaking wreck. I'm about to knock your ankles loose when we get home.
I'm about to devour you. Like it's over with. Like
I'm not calling you YBG. What the fuck is your name?
we love y'all, New York women, Detroit women too. I feel like I'm gonna have a ball in Chicago. Like
I feel like you are too. I've always said, like, I think that I have like an East Coast spirit, but I was born on the West Coast.
I feel the opposite. Like I felt so at home out west, girl. I was like, bitch, this is it. Like, you I ain't never got to worry about me going home. The fuck? No.
I went to Philly and I went to New York, and I fell in love in both cities. And
When
people
I
always
when
tell me, like, you should have moved to New York after college. And I think about it all the time. I probably should have moved to New
I
York
can
if I
see
would have
that with
thrived.
you.
Yeah. I don't smile, so I already know I'd fit right in. I
Bitch,
don't
not on.
smile, but if you need my help, it goes right down, and I'm like, what's wrong? What can I do for you? But I'm not smiling. What the fuck are we smiling for?
Not on smile. I can't stand her.
If I smile, then people talk to me.
Girl, I fell in love with Vegas just as a city, as a town, because it was just so cool. Like everybody mind their business. But like when I went to LA, I had a really good time. Like people are just so cool, and they just, if you want to talk about like random spiritual stuff, like they down for it. You know, like people here they'll be acting like, damn, you getting too deep. Like, but there they like the deep shit.
Oh, in
I like
LA?
that.
In LA or out here?
LA.
Yeah. But you know how I say I love LA people when they're in LA.
They do be a little annoying in Vegas. Y'all always, it's like every time you go to a dispensary, like first of all, why are you there? You know what I mean? And but you be there and you be like, ooh, it don't cost this much in LA, and we got better quality in LA. It's like, friend, go back. Like,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate LA. I think LA is a beautiful city. I personally would not live there. I don't think that that would be the right town. Like I said, I think I'm an East Coaster at heart.
I think I'm gonna
Um,
move there when I'm done with my PhD.
right. But I like that for you. But I just like, but when LA people come to visit Vegas, I'm not gonna lie, I don't try to have too long of a conversation. Cause I've never met an LA person who doesn't immediately go to trashing Las Vegas, and I've always felt like, don't you think it's a little rude to go to somebody's house and immediately tell them everything you don't like about their house?
The thing that I love though about a Vegas natives, I'm telling you, majority of them, especially if they 25 and over, they done lived at least 5 lives. Like, they're so interesting.
I've had experience before the age of 25 that most people are like, what the hell were you doing in that situation at 22, 23, 18?
Everybody in Vegas is traumatized. But it makes for a great story.
When
Like,
you live in a freaking sketchy city with a very shoddy, quiet underworld, you just end up in stuff. Like, that's why people are like, you got to be careful exploring out here because you just don't know who you're dealing with.
yeah, when I was living in Vegas and people would hit me up from home and they'll be like, oh, I'm finna come to Vegas. I'm finna do this, that, and the third. Friend, do not stay longer than 4 days. You gonna go to jail.
No, honestly, you don't need to be here more than a weekend.
I told them. I always told them. They be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there for a week, bitch. Shorten it.
You
Shorten
don't.
it.
You don't.
You
You
going to
can do
jail
everything you need to do in a weekend.
for real? It's not hard to see everything as a tourist. It's not hard to see everything you need to see in Vegas. Now, if you live in there, there's a hell of a lot more to do. But for you tourists, all you need to see is the Strip in Fremont and go to fuck home.
Mhm.
That's all you need to do.
And no, you don't need to go in all the hotels. I still ain't been in all of them, and some of them I
Do
have
you
no
know how
desire
long
to.
it took me to go to all them hotels? And I was crossfaded when I did it too. But do you know how long it took me, bitch? I used to go out every weekend just so I could explore all the hotels I didn't see the weekend before. Like, it probably took me total, probably like a couple months. Because, I was there getting my master's, so it's like I had to stay in sometimes and study. But overall, I think it took me like a full 2 months or so. And I think even then, I probably had missed a couple.
Mhm.
Like, yeah. It's hard seeing all the hotels. You girl, cause they big.
Well, people are like, I'm gonna walk the strip, and I always like being like, are you sure? Because I don't think y'all understand just how long the strip is.
Bitch, that's a workout. And then you drunk and dehydrated.
Yeah.
You can't afford to work out.
So
You better
one of
call
the
that
things too is
Uber.
I'm like, if you don't like water, you shouldn't come to Las Vegas because it's hot and it's a desert.
Yeah, baby, you gonna be dry. Like, I had somebody dead ass have a heat stroke beside me in the pool was I at daylight? I think I was at daylight. And yeah, she just wasn't drinking enough water. She was drinking hella alcohol. Like,
Yep.
and girl, she just started to like, I don't feel good. And then she started to kind of like faint, but not all the way.
Mhm.
And I was like, call her some help. Please get her some fucking help. Cause she's not coming back from this. Like, not on some like she gonna die, but I'm saying like the party's over. You know what I'm saying
Right.
for her?
Like this is not good.
Yeah, cause she wasn't drinking enough water. Girl, I was sitting there with a cold bottle, just guzzling. Cause I'm like, girl, no. Before I get lit, let me go ahead and hydrate. I had my little Pedialyte before I left the house. That was matter of fact, that was the last pool party I attended too. Before I left,
Mhm.
Soldier Boy was there.
Right.
I went there just for Soldier Boy. And fucking Erica. Erica was pregnant and she couldn't go. She wanted to go, but Erica couldn't get ready. Like, she was just, cause when she be pregnant, like, she be sick. So
Yeah.
she just could not get ready. And I was like, man, I'm about to go. Like,
Mhm.
cause the time for me to get in free is getting very close. So that was a good time. I just wanted my friend there. She wasn't there. But yeah, girl, she had a whole heat stroke right beside me. Like, y'all gotta drink some water going to Vegas. But yeah, I could see that. So you gonna be in New York. I'm gonna be in LA. We just gonna have a
I'll just fly
time.
back and forth.
Yeah, we gonna fly back and forth.
Yeah.
Cause I love New York. When I was there, girl, I had a ball.
As soon as we got to the city, I looked around and I said, "Oh my god, I love it here." Like the honking and the fuck you. I was like, I like it. I was like, I think I like it.
Not the fuck you. Was you in Manhattan?
Yes, we were in Manhattan. I
I was too.
remember we were there on a Friday night. And when I say we walked past at least 3 different verbal altercations on
Mm-hmm.
the way to dinner. The way people in New York will just crash out on each other.
For real, and don't care where they at, what they doing.
These two
Like,
dudes, like I kid you not, they were both with their girlfriends, wives, whatever the fuck. And I don't know what happened. Somebody didn't move fast enough or whatever, but the two boyfriends were like, "What the fuck are you? Don't see me fucking walking here with the fucking lady? Man, fuck you and fuck your fucking ass girlfriend."
oh
We're
my
just like,
God.
we're West Coasters, like, goddamn.
A lot. It's just a lot. Like,
Because this kind of F word use in the West Coast, you really got to be pushing somebody to have them
for
explode like that.
real.
In New York, all it takes is a shoulder check for people to be like, and action.
When I was there, people were surprisingly nice. Like,
Mhm.
opening doors. Hey, how you doing? Like, I didn't think people spoke like that. But they were speaking. Because in the South, people do that. Like, you gonna get a good morning. Hey, how you doing? Whatever. Like, they gonna have a whole conversation with you and don't even know you in the grocery store. Like, so, yeah, you will hate the South. So, people do not mind their business in the South.
But some people always say you wouldn't last a day in the South. I'm like, you act like I'm insulted by that. That's why I won't move down there because I am a private person. I
Yeah.
like big cities where I can blend in. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to live nowhere where people are watching me. I don't want to live
People
there.
always
That
watching you.
sounds like a
People always in
nightmare.
your business.
I hate
Like,
that.
like
Mm-mm.
I remember one time, what was I doing? I think I was like checking out in the self checkout or whatever, and my purse was in the cart, which was behind me, but I could see it's right there. Girl, do you know this lady? This older woman, she tapped me on my shoulder. You know, you can't leave your purse just unattended like that because people will try to steal from you. I'm like, it's right here. And first of all, if I get stole from, ain't that my business? Like, it just
That's
annoyed
my
me because
burden
I'm
to
like,
bear.
yeah, I'm like, I do this all the time. I did it in Vegas. I did it in Tampa. I done did it everywhere I lived at. My purse was never stole from me. So, girl, I'm like, little ass Dublin, Georgia, somebody gonna steal from me. Girl, like I can't find him real quick. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
You
that's the
you would
one.
hate it here.
Right. That's the one point of contention I've always had with people that are from the South is like me, who is an extremely private person, and I'm big about don't come to my house unannounced. Um, don't invite people to my fucking house that I don't know. Don't give my number to nobody that I don't know without at least asking me permission first. And so when I
Mm-hmm.
remember, so like you wouldn't like, and they said it like in a way to try to like make me feel bad, but I was like, you're goddamn right. That's why I don't live out there. I need to live in places where I can blend in because I just don't think that anybody should be in your business like that.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, but no, when I was in New York, like people were sweet, but they still did mind their business though. But yeah, like
Exactly.
I was so surprised. I was like, oh, y'all opening doors, y'all speaking, like, cause people used to act like people in New York, they just walk past you, they don't give a fuck. Like, I don't get that. People
No.
are so sweet. They just minded their business and they had shit to do. Like,
Exactly.
and that was I ain't mind that. I was like, shit, I could live here. That's what y'all doing, but it's cold.
Yeah. Though that's the only thing about the East Coast is it being cold. That New York, the only thing I hated about New York was that cold. That was cold that I've never experienced. I've never felt cold where like I literally can feel it in my bones. This cold hurts. I don't like it.
What month was
I
you there?
we were there in March, and again, I'm from Las Vegas, so I'm used to it being like 70, 60 around March. Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. I got there and I saw snow and I said, "Oh dear."
Yeah, I went like September going into October, and so it was like getting cold, but it wasn't cold just yet. So I was cool. I was fine. Now Chicago, on the other hand, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that.
Ooh,
Cause the Midwest, that's like you think New York is cold. Like the Midwest is notorious for
cold
being frozen. Like,
ice
and people just
storm.
going to work like it's cool. Like,
Like, what the fuck is an ice storm? What do you mean there's an ice storm? Like,
like it's
what
ice
happened to
flying
snow?
around.
There's just ice flinging around, things getting frozen over. Like, I remember when I saw this car that was just like piled over in like waves of ice. So they were by the lake, and with the wind and stuff like that, it just blew that mist, so their car was just frozen over with layers of ice. And I was like,
Uh-uh.
I can't live nowhere like that. I can't do it.
I'm
You
telling
could
y'all,
not pay me to leave
the
my house.
only reason, the only way the Lord could get me to Chicago was by getting me into a PhD program. That was it. Because I feel like God want me there for a
Yes,
reason, and that's cool. But I feel like He knew she is not going if she ain't got a reason to go.
I'm gonna come visit. I'm definitely gonna come visit.
Yes, bring that ass here,
Not when it's
girl.
cold, but I will come visit.
You gonna come during them 100 days of summer?
Yeah, 'cause when it's -2, I'm gonna be like, we can hang out in my hotel room.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
hang out inside your house. I'm not coming outside.
Yeah, we definitely gonna be in the though. That's the thing. I'm not going outside when it's like y'all. It's so much to do in Chicago, but I don't understand how people is doing stuff and it's 2 degrees. What to do? And I'm gonna have to be somebody therapist in that weather. Jesus Christ.
Do
Okay.
gang members still do drive-bys? I was wondering, like, do drive-bys go down in the
Yeah.
winter?
I
Like,
wonder.
you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I can never ask, but I'm always like, do y'all still slide when it's like really cold outside, or do y'all just like let the anger fester for another day?
Yeah. Like I feel like if it get below 30, like just stay in the house,
You know what
But
I'm saying? Like, that nigga can die next month. I'm not going out
yeah.
there.
Like the cold might kill him before I do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like
Yeah.
even if I did see my ops spin the block, I would just be like, black ice might get your ass before I do. So you keep on going.
Yeah. But I've never been a gang member, so I don't know the logic. You know what I'm saying? So
Like, it's too bad you can't do like a anthropological study on gang activity.
I wish I could. I feel like we can. We just gotta keep it anonymous.
It's just gonna be hard though. Like I think the danger factor, because I just feel like they are not gonna respond well to, "Hi, I'm a PhD student trying to, you a fed?" I'm
Like,
like,
listen,
fed
first of
if you get.
all, I'm not from
Hold on,
63rd, sir.
hold on. Whoa. PhD. That's not a street. That is a degree in college. Whoa.
Yeah, I'll be like, listen, I'm not going to 63rd to collect nothing. They better bring their ass to me.
No, you gonna come to this campus. I'm not coming to your street. Having somebody be
Mm-mm.
thinking I'm affiliated.
Mm-mm. Cause you know me, I be friendly with anybody. Like I really do be cool with anybody. So as long as we can have like a cool conversation, like we really gonna look like we besties. So so somebody could really ride by and be like, oh, like she from 63rd? No, she's not. Like I'm a friendly bitch. That's it.
That's it.
That's
I'm
all.
like, I
That's
have
it.
no business with any of that. I am not a this. That's when I start being like, I am a preacher's child.
Shut up.
Whenever I want to like just force my street cred down, I'm like, my daddy was a preacher. I'm not
Like,
involved in this kind of stuff.
just
People
taking it
will
down a
obviously be
notch.
like, they're like, oh, you don't fuck with a preacher's kid. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's not right. Like oh my god, that's funny. I'm a
I'm like, I'm a
preacher's
preacher's
kid.
kid. I don't know nothing about this.
Clutching my pearls.
A set? What's a set?
Excuse me? What is that?
We don't do that where I'm from.
Uh-uh. Yeah, I never, like, growing up in the South in a small town, like, I can't relate to nobody that's like, oh, that shit was knocking on my front door. Like, girl, if you knocked on my front door with anything other than the Bible, you might get put on your back. My
Listen,
daddy ain't playing that.
I accidentally I accidentally opened the door for a Jehovah's Witness, and my grandma
Ooh.
got so mad at me.
Oh.
I was trying to be helpful because when she's gotten older, she's gotten slower. So I didn't want her to have to worry about getting up and walking across the house.
Yeah.
So I got up, I opened the door. It was a Jehovah's Witness. By the time my grandma got there, she then had to negotiate him off her porch. Then when she got rid of him, she walked her around and said, "Who told you to open my door?"
Mm-mm. Now you in trouble.
I was like, "Yes, ma'am." I knew. I was like, and that's the last time I tried to be helpful.
That's why I'm like that about the door now. Like, if I don't, that's why I love me a Ring camera. Cause let me know who there before I have to even really get to the door like that. But no, like my ex fiance, I used to want to bust his ass because why this man don't even look at the fucking peephole? Like he just opened the door. What is wrong with you? Like
Why
somebody
would
could
you
be on the
do
other
that?
side of the door. You're more disliked than me, right? So why would you want to open the door? Somebody could be on the other side of that door trying to shoot you.
You know what I'm saying? You would think
You
with his history he would know that.
He really likes the color blue, if you catch my drift. So why are you opening the door?
That's
Why
why
are
I
you
said
thinking like this?
maybe it's good that I'm not affiliated because I definitely be like, hey, do y'all know what this nigga is doing out here?
Child.
He's a friend of blue is what we should say. Yeah, he's a friend of blue. He really likes the color blue.
He
It's one of those
really
things like
likes it.
that's one of those the girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't. If you need it
That's
to
how
be
you can,
explained to, you know what, count your blessings. You don't need to be involved in that kind of shit.
you know. I got into it on an accident. I didn't even know. Like
That's another thing in dating them LA people. You got to be like, who is your family involved with?
girl, I was just in Vegas having a good time, and me and this man just we met up. Like I never, nothing in me was like, oh, let me ask about any type of affiliation he might have. Nothing about that dawned on me because I didn't realize that like a lot of men that you may come in contact with are definitely like in their life, you know. Like I didn't know, bitch. he said something as he was asking me to be his girlfriend. Because he asked me if I've ever been with a man that liked the color blue before. And I was like, no. Do it come with a t-shirt? Like,
Sometimes because I know you thought that I was a friend of Blue, and I was like, I wonder if
I
that's why
did.
he kind of liked me, because I'm like, did he think that I was? No.
You give it. But no.
Everybody says I give that energy, and I don't understand.
You give it
I've
more than he do.
I've had students say we all thought your favorite color was blue, and I was like, what are y'all talking about?
Baby, you just gonna have to accept that. That's just your vibe. I don't know. I don't know. But I thought,
When you told me that, I was like, huh?
girl,
Because I
but
ain't
no.
sliding on nobody.
I
I'm too scared to.
yeah. I'm not
I,
either. Hell.
I'm too scared to sell drugs.
I was just like, when I got with him, I when I got with him, I was just like, I pray this man do not try to put no gun in my purse. Like
I be a trap queen to the police at the door, and
I
then
ain't
I'm
trying to
telling
be
you
all
every
that.
single thing that I know.
I'm like, bro, I came here to get a master's. I ain't come here to catch no charge. Like, I ain't with all that. I ain't catching no charge for you. I'm not gonna tell on you, but at the same time, baby, I'm not taking no charge.
No,
No,
no, sir. No, sir. Bears gonna do
absolutely
this time
not.
for me? Absolutely not.
Absolutely fucking not. You
Why does
said
my
how many
freedom have
years?
to leave?
Oh hell no.
Why do I have to lose my freedom? I didn't even do anything.
Me?
Me? Why?
Live alone me. I'm like, I thought I was likable, bitch. You really trying to put me away?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. That was yeah, y'all. If you out west in general, that's just something you gotta look for
You
because
do.
it's out there real bad. I mean, but I'm glad I ran into a blue man before I ran into like a pimp. Like,
Yeah.
cause you can run into those too. That
Especially in Vegas, they are lurking
they every fucking where.
and they're quiet. A lot of people think that it's literally like the dude with like the big old crazy suit and the staff and all that, and I'm like, no, it's a freaking
No.
Andrew Tate looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Coming to you, talking that bullshit about how he could change your life.
You need a real man. You need a real man.
Yeah. It's them. Mm-mm.
I can take you places you never been, baby. He sure can.
Figaro. Okay. He can take you to all different kind of places.
You're gonna go a lot of places that you ain't never been before.
Mm-mm. Oof. You remember that time I was living with a pimp and I didn't know?
I
That
remember
was
that
the
story.
funniest shit ever. Oh my.
Taylor
Okay, so
stories be having you like, and you talk about Vegas locals be having different lives. Taylor stories be having me like,
yeah, yeah. Like this, my stories is how you could tell like God really be watching over me because he never tried to recruit me or any of that. Like he was just my roommate. She was not like a hoe. It was her best friend who was living with her in her room over there. And so the pimp would come in and out, whatever. And so I just thought he was just visiting his girlfriend. Like, for the longest, I just thought that was his girlfriend. And then one day, we go to the liquor store with her, and then we come back. And, like, I guess he pulled up around the same time we did. And so she was like, okay, I got something to tell y'all. And I was like, what? And she was like, that's not my boyfriend, that's my pimp. Bitch, she in the back. I said, what?
the Ray meme where she's like, eh?
He's so whoop. This is different. I'm not used to this. Girl. Oh my God. I ran into so much crazy shit in Vegas. Like, y'all would not believe. But yes, I lived with a pimp and a hoe. I did. They moved out very soon after because we all had ended up kind of getting into it after a while, but it wasn't like physical, but we just kind of clashed about just having him there. Like the man's, to be honest, like him being a pimp wasn't even a deal breaker. That man stole my liquor.
See, that's that shit though that I'm like, nah, hold on. What do you mean? Like, I can't stand it when people like. Obviously, you are in a cash business. You can't afford your own liquor.
Bitch. First of all, why she not in her own place? If you pimping her out and y'all making a considerable amount of money, why is she not in her own place? Y'all are
Why
doing
isn't
this
he
out
in
of
his
her.
own place? The math isn't mathing.
It's not. How you pimping somebody out and you broke? And she had told us that too. Like, oh, whenever I do whatever the fuck, like he'll take all the money.
Because he a pimp.
But all of it though, I had an attitude about that. I was like, damn, he
Because he's a
taking
pimp.
all.
They are not. First of all, a sex trafficker is not a fucking good business partner.
Bitch, I'm thinking like, I was just like, damn, you could at least get 30%. Like, it's you doing the work, you know?
Yes. That's why it's so fucked up because these men literally like just take control of these women's lives, and then all the work that they are doing, they don't get to reap none of it. That's why it's so twisted because it's like they literally are using these women's bodies for money. And the people whose bodies are being used don't even get to see any of the financial benefits of it, at least.
But it's
And they
like
can't even, yeah, because my mom works with people who were victims of human trafficking. And that's
uh-huh.
the thing is that they were taken, some were like very taken care of, like they always had clothes and food and stuff like that. Some weren't allowed to eat, some weren't allowed to like, but they like everything was bought or given to them. They were not allowed to
Yeah.
like they had none of their own money.
Yeah. But it's just like you using her body, you taking all the money, and you got the caucasity to be putting hands on her as well. Like, that's a lot. For you to not put no money in my hand, I'm surprised
Yeah.
more of y'all ain't dead. Cause you remember that one girl? She
Yes.
out now, but the one
Yeah.
she had killed her pimp or whatever he was to her.
No, I think she killed the trick.
Yeah, she killed a trick. That's what it
Yeah.
was. And they put her in jail for it, but she got out a while ago. I forgot her name.
Centoya Brown. I never forgot that
Yes.
girl. Because I was always just like, I'm not finna judge. I'm not judging nobody in this situation. Because I'm like, what the fuck would you do? That would
Yeah.
be so much more noble and better. What would you do?
Yeah,
People
like
who judge
they.
women in those situations piss me the fuck off. Because I'm always just like, and what the fuck makes you so righteous?
Mm-hmm. So I definitely. Oh, she got a book. Free Centoya: My Search for Redemption in the American Prison System. Murder. They got a movie too. Murder to Mercy: The Centoya Brown Story. Is this Lifetime?
If it's
No,
Lifetime,
it's
I'm
on
not
Netflix.
watching it.
It's on
Is this
Netflix.
okay? Because I'm like, ain't they responsible for that Michael Jackson movie with Flex Alexander? God, I'm still to this day upset about that whole situation.
Oh God, that was funny.
Like, I still want to ask Flex, like, walk me through it.
Flex wanted to check. That's all that was.
He wanted a
But
check, and I really want to ask him how much was the check for that movie.
I don't know. But it was fucking hilarious. He probably had so much fun doing that shit.
Oh
He
my
probably was like,
God.
man, I'm finna be a fool.
That was such an uncomfortable watch. Like, I just remember because I was like, what are they gonna do when he starts getting light skinned?
Right.
And then I saw it and I was like, okay, I have to. Oh no.
Too much. Too much.
When he has to adjust his nose in that movie, I was like, nobody involved in this is seeing the gates.
That's just a hilarious thing to watch. Like, I'm I'm flattered. I'm flabbergasted. But no, when you were just talking about like human trafficking and like people using the women's bodies and reaping all the benefits, you know who I thought about immediately?
No.
Cassie. I did. Cause people wanted to act like, you remember they was trying to act like, oh, she's just a DV victim. Like, why is she testifying? It's like, no, she was trafficked, you guys.
Yes,
She
she was
she was.
signed into a contract for 10 albums
I remember
at
somebody put it into
19.
perspective. Somebody put it into perspective. They was like, Beyonce made 8 albums over all this time. We've only gotten 8 albums from Beyonce. So for her to be signed for 10 albums, that's so, it's predatory.
When they said about Taylor, I think what was it? What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? The infographic show. Um Unfreeze. Unfreeze. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, we're gonna wait. She gonna come back. Why did I say reconnecting?
There we go.
Oh, okay.
But I was watching the infographic show and they were saying like if you really need to put into perspective like how many albums it like really how much time and a 10 album deal is, they were like Taylor's like they said Taylor Swift because they said Taylor Swift has made 10 albums. But remember when we first met Taylor Swift? That was
Yeah,
like 2008.
yeah.
That's a long time to be in
We
a deal with someone.
we was in middle school.
You know what I'm saying? And we just got a new album from her. So 10 albums, that's you can think of like basically one album equals 1 year.
Yeah,
Cuz you
that's a
don't
lot of
make
work.
it's work. Like you don't make an album overnight. Like I think like people think they go in, sing the song, mix it for a couple weeks and then, you know, all right, here's the album. No, you got to write. You got to figure out the beat. Then you got to get the beat right. You got to get people all in to compress it and all the mastering. It takes so much time just to have one song right for for a single, let alone
Mm-hmm.
an EP, an LP, or an album.
Yep. It's not. It's not. I mean, it ain't playtime. I tell you that.
It's work. The music industry is work.
Yeah, girl. I cause I wrote my EP. Just writing it, I think, took about 3 months,
See?
2 or 3 months, and I still haven't even recorded it yet. Like, cause it costs
See?
money. It costs money to record. So,
Yes.
and I ain't even cause I haven't bought my beats. My beats cost probably 1,200 altogether. Like, it ain't cheap. And
No.
then like recording a song, like you can record a song fast, but that don't mean it's gonna be a good one. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta
The
keep going back
faster
and
the quality
revisit
goes
it.
down.
Yeah, so it takes a while. So I'm just like I wouldn't, but you gotta understand I'm 29. So me saying I wouldn't sign to nobody for 10 deals, like of course I wouldn't. You know, but she was 19 at the time, so
You're 19 and P. Diddy wants to sign you for 10 albums.
exactly.
That sounds, I'm pretty sure if I was 19, that would just look like dollar signs in success for me. If I was
Yeah,
19, I'd be like, P. Diddy signed me for 10 albums. Y'all can't say shit to me.
nothing.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's why he was preying on her, because she's 19. I'm like, remember yourself at 19. Were you making the smartest decisions?
Hell no. I took out $40,000 in student loans. That ain't smart. I signed a death row.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them, I'm like, look at the people we dated when we were 18, 19 and shit.
I actually dated a pretty good dude back then. He was, but
I
I
was,
wasn't. I wasn't ready for that. I was too immature to admit that I wanted to explore.
compulsive normativity had me all types of all over the place with the men I
Yeah.
was messing with. I was just in the dumpster, just sifting for something that looked decent enough.
Hello. Like me, I was so numb emotionally. Like I just wanted to feel something. So if I could have an orgasm or if I could get drunk, that's what I would do. Because that's the only time I would feel something. So I could just imagine being 19 and feeling that excitement. Cause I don't really know too much about how she grew up. Ain't no telling how she grew up or if she felt loved or not. Like, who knows? So, but yeah. So while we're talking about mental health awareness, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So my mental health awareness tip: please prioritize your sleep, because like I underestimated just how important that is until I had to get psychiatric medication to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's working. I tell you that it is working. I'm having a ball. I be waking up because I was thinking like these headaches. I'm like, what is going on? But I was thinking like, oh, something wrong. Like I got a tumor. You know, I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I think everything is so
That'll do it.
dramatic. Whole time, I just needed to go to sleep for an extended period of time. Like I need my full 8 hours straight, no interruptions. And once I got it, I ain't had no headaches.
Mm-hmm.
So please prioritize your sleep. It will help you regulate your mood. It will help you regulate, your physical processes. Sleep help with everything. You will be surprised what you can accomplish with a good night's rest. So that's my tip.
I like that.
Yeah.
Um, y'all need to journal. Y'all need to journal. Y'all like one thing, and this is something that I myself had to start doing. Like, we need to stop venting on social media.
Oh yes.
Like I know some people are going to get offended by it, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be vulnerable, but I'm like, a lot of times is that we'll be vulnerable on social media, and then people who are terrible and are miserable and want others to be miserable will get a hold of the post and then just compile on top of the trauma and hurt you're already feeling. So
Yeah.
sometimes I think that people, like, we really need to get back to like journaling. And
Mhm.
I'm saying, like, people like, get you a journal, fuck it, talk to honestly. And I'm saying this too, like, use Chat GPT as an interactive journal when it comes to
Girl.
processing things, but don't substitute that for therapy. You still need to talk
Yeah.
to a professional. But y'all need to get journals. Like, and honestly, journaling will help you from posting really ignorant takes, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
think that sometimes, like, we are too quick to just post it because we want to share our thoughts, and I am a firm believer that we were not supposed to we weren't supposed to share all these thoughts with each other. We just weren't. Like,
Yeah.
people don't know you, and they have their perspectives, and then they put their reality on you, and now y'all both mad. And when you think about it, it's two people who don't fucking know each other trying to
Mhm.
like tell each other about yourselves. And it's just like, and like, I even had to say to myself, why am I arguing with this motherfucker? I don't know you, and you don't know me, and you have no stake in my life. I don't care.
Yeah. It's true. I had to get a hold of myself like years ago because I was just like, why am I arguing with people who are so committed to misunderstanding me?
Yeah.
And, you know, about personal things. Like, it has nothing to do with them. Like, I had to really sit myself down. Like, do you know you can live your life without this motherfucker's permission? Do you know
Yeah.
that? So, you right. Journaling the things out instead of trying to tweet it or put it on Threads or Instagram. Better. A
Yeah.
lot.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's too much oversharing on social media. Like, people are way too quick to share very intimate things. And like, I get, like, there is a time and place to be vulnerable on social media. Like, I think that people who are survivors of certain types of abuse, you should definitely share your story. I think it's important in helping people heal and not feel alone. But I'm also like, you need to be careful of what you share because people are evil and people like to capitalize on on folks' pain,
Mm-hmm.
and will love, love, love any opportunity to just compound on that. Misery loves company, okay?
Yeah.
So get a journal, folks. Please start journaling. Just start thinking to yourself, like, before you put it on social media, maybe can I just write this down?
Mm-hmm. No, for real. And from a spiritual perspective, like there are also a lot of energy leeches on social media in general. So people will see you like bearing your soul on social media, and there's something in their spirit that will want to like leech off of that energy, and you
Mm-hmm.
kind of just opened yourself up to that
Yes.
by letting them in emotionally. So and think about it from that perspective too. Like sometimes it's really best to just keep it to yourself or journal, like she
Yeah.
said.
Write it in a journal. Like, I know we all have our traumas, and sometimes, like, it does help to have other people who've been through similar experiences, like, to converse with them. But you
Mm-hmm.
got to be careful. People are rude. People are really
People
fucking
are
mean, man.
rude. People are disrespectful. People are just looking to get their next viral moment. Like sometimes they don't even really be mean like that. They just trying to go viral, and it's like that's even worse to me.
Me too. Like, I really feel like I'm like, what did you say that for?
Like just clout chasing.
Like I always am. I'm a big person to say, like, I'm gonna ask people, like, do you feel better now?
Yeah. Do you though? I know this is like really off topic, but am I a double D? I wonder.
Have you not measured?
I ain't measured in years, man, because I don't wear bras.
I
Like
know. I was like, I know you don't wear bras, but so I was like, you haven't
I
had your
should
cup
have.
size measured in a while?
I haven't had my cup size measured in at least 5 years. It's probably been way longer. I should probably do that.
I'm
Cause
sorry, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto and the fucking chopper just got destroyed.
okay, not the chopper. Oh, bitch, you've been set back. You have been set back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Good job. I'm done.
Oh. Oh, she mad. But no. Yeah, I'm
Let's
definitely
continue.
wondering. They look a whole lot bigger like on the camera than they do when I look down at them, but
You sound like my mom. Like, I'm always like, why are you acting like you not with your titties every day?
I'm with them every day. But I just don't know what these girls be up to. Like, we'll figure it out. I'll go get measured. I think you can go to what Victoria's Secret and get
Mm-hmm.
measured. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go get measured and see. If I'm a double D, I'm definitely getting a fucking reduction. I never intended to be bigger than a C. That's just not the life I live.
She said, where all this titty come from? Anybody asked for this?
Yeah, a lot of it came like after undergrad, and I'm like, y'all was supposed to be done. The fuck, like mm. But see, when you with stressful ass niggas, that's what happened. They make your titties bigger, and now
That,
your back hurt.
that cortisol.
It's the cortisol. People think it's a lie, and like, oh, like you just blaming him. Like, no, bitch. There's science behind this shit. When you with somebody stressful, you either gonna gain weight that you don't want, or you gonna lose weight that you wanted to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so many different things that could happen to you, like because you are around somebody who don't want anything good for you. Like, don't.
Single women live longer, married men live longer.
It's because they're both getting their desires fulfilled.
Like that mess scared the shit out of me. And that to me was why I'm like, I see so many people say, like, I remember that old man said, "Are you married?" And I said no, and he went, "Wise woman."
Boop.
That was an old white man that said that to me, a black woman.
Do you know how many times my dad done told me, don't trust none of these niggas. These niggas is unreliable. Always have your own shit. Do not depend on a man for nothing. He will let you down every fucking time.
Talking about, I want to lead, I want to lead.
You ain't leading nothing over here.
Lead yourself. Learn how to lead yourself. Like, quit trying to look for a leader to follow. Lead yourself. Jesus.
Period.
I can't wait to talk about our topic. Jesus.
All right. So who you wanted to smoke with this week, girl?
Dope is Yola. He's one of
Dope
my
is
favorite YouTube creators. He is one dude. I pray to God one day I can finally meet and do some type of like stoner comedy show or film or something, and like we star in it together. I feel like that would be one of the funniest shows on TV. He is my favorite YouTuber. I love his story times. Like, he's one of them creators that like I always felt like I'm like, I feel like you're genuinely like cool people, like through the camera.
Mhm.
Like, and of course, again, I don't know that man personally, but he's definitely one of those people where your energy, I'm like, you definitely have the energy of like, of course, you're not perfect, but you're just trying to get through life like the rest of us. Seeing his channel blow up and
Warning.
his success.
Everything
Like,
in this video and on this channel is for educational purposes only. All content is intended for
All
viewers
right.
21 years of age
I
or older.
found
All
him.
acts are performed by professionals and all people shown are 20.
I found him, and then it just started playing the video automatically.
oh, yeah, you got to look at his story times. His story times are so funny. Like, I'll send you later on some links to some of my favorites that I've watched multiple times because he's such a good storyteller.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, I learned a lot about weed from his channel.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely manifesting that y'all get to do something together because he looks like a fun creator.
I feel like if he was on our podcast or we were on his podcast, like that would just be too funny. Like we would leave weak from laughing and coughing from smoking weed.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to get us a sprinter or something.
Yeah,
Somebody gotta drive us.
because I just know that's gonna be two of the funniest episodes we could ever have.
For real. Yeah, the one that started playing out of nowhere was How to Roll a QP. I don't know what that is.
A quarter-pound joint.
Oh.
A quarter pound of weed. That's a lot of fucking weed.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of weed.
I don't want that much.
I had to describe that to my mom because they were like, I don't know what an ounce and all that mess is. And I said, if you're carrying pounds, that is some like intent to distribute levels of marijuana.
Yeah.
Once you go over an ounce, you about to go to jail.
You is. I hate that for you because you're going. But
If you seriously, if you got more than an ounce in your car, you're playing with your freedom. Always remember, folks, even with marijuana, with it being like weed at the state level, legal at the state level, you can still catch a case.
You can.
If you got too much in your car.
You ain't supposed to have a certain amount on you, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into our astrology segment. So it is Gemini season. Shout out to all our Gemini listeners. So with Gemini season, we're going to be a lot more joyful and more talkative. I just want to expand on some of our more famous Geminis. So we have Kendrick Lamar. He's a Gemini. Prince, rest in peace. He was a Gemini. Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle is a Gemini. Lauryn Hill. Lenny Kravitz. Yeah.
There's some pretty cool Geminis out there.
For real, right? I love all of them.
I love Geminis. I think they're hilarious.
I don't know a Gemini that I don't like.
People that don't like Geminis, I'm like, that's just because you can't stand flair. You don't like to be entertained.
Are you not entertained?
I'm like, I love a Gemini. You'll never be bored with a Gemini around.
Geminis are fun. Geminis are so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love being around Geminis. So, shout out to them. The moon is currently in Leo. So, we're going to be experiencing a more playful and childlike emotional nature and also a strong creative energy. So, if you feel like writing some shit today, you probably should. Mercury is currently in Gemini. So, we're going to be a whole lot more curious and we're going to be wanting to learn a lot of new things. Because that's Gemini energy. You curious and you just want to know shit. Okay. Saturn is currently in Aries. So we're almost done with our Saturn return. Because it will retrograde back into Pisces like towards the end of the year, but after that, like we will never see that shit again for like another 30 years. So since your Saturn return, it started 3 years ago. How's life been?
Since Saturn returned?
Yeah, your Saturn return, it started 3 years ago.
I don't know. It's just serious. Like, I don't know. I genuinely feel like a grown ass woman
Mm-hmm.
for the first time in my life. Like, I genuinely am in this place in my life where I'm like, I like who I am becoming each more every day.
Yeah.
But I can also tell I'm in that place if I'm like, I don't have, like, I can tell, like, I'm not taking shit from anybody else. Like, the amount of
Yeah.
shit that I will deal with is just getting less and less. Like, yeah. But it's been a lot of growth and change, but it's been nothing that I haven't been like, it's okay. This is cool. I like this. I like who we are becoming. I like me.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, during my Saturn return, I definitely feel like I've gotten more grown as a person, like just more mature and able to handle things without freaking out about them. But I will say, like, my Saturn return has been, I've underwent a lot of stress and a lot of tests, and some of this shit I'm just like, was this even necessary? Like, did I have to go through that? Like, I done lost so much during my Saturn return. I went through it. That was the main thing. I just lost a lot, and usually when you're losing a lot of things, it's because you're somehow making room for new. I just have yet to see the new. So we're waiting. We're gonna be patient, But outside of that, I'm proud of the growth, because me 5 years ago, I don't know that I even could have dealt with some of the stuff I've been through in the last 3 years. So, yeah. But yeah, Saturn is in Aries, so now it's their Saturn return. All right, but with Saturn in Aries, we'll also be dealing with a lot of like independence and personal energy will collide. So Saturn will be challenging all of us to become more independent and more, more reliant on ourselves in certain situations. So with that being said, let's get into our topic for today. Attachment styles. Yay!
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So this is based on the work done by Mary Ainsworth and John Bowlby. They created and developed attachment theory. So these are like my predecessors. I love these niggas. Okay, so let's start with secure attachment. So when you're securely attached, you love intimacy, you love love, and you generally have a positive view of yourself and other people. You tend to trust your partners when you're in a relationship. So I know, like for us who are insecurely attached, this sounds boring as fuck, but this is the goal.
Mhm. It is the goal. Like it's so funny how people are like, would you rather have a safe and stable, peaceful relationship that's boring, or a stressful relationship where cortisol is through the roof every day, but hey, you're never gonna be bored with that person.
Romantic comedies do that shit all the time, where they end up
Mhm.
choosing like the chaotic person because they just love them so much. Oh, it's funny, but
And the boring guys, he's great, but he's just so boring. Meanwhile, he just
I,
wants to chill, do different activities. He don't argue or fight.
yeah, it's like you just like me and you just want to spend time. What?
Yawn.
Why do we feel like it's boring? I hate this.
I'm always just like, these movies ruined us. I feel like these movies trained us to chase chaos.
That is true. Cause to be honest, when I think about the Titanic, Jack wasn't that much better either. Like he just wasn't physically abusive, but
Exactly.
he loved Rose, and I will give him that. But Jack was also all over the place. Like he was a little unstable, and he was still finding his way in life. And I still
Mm-hmm.
feel like that still was not good for her. Like she had a real good handle on who she was as a person. She was
Mm-hmm.
just with the wrong guy.
Yep.
So all she had to do was push him over in the water real quick, and she would have been straight.
Oops. I don't know what happened. A gust of wind.
What was that? Was that a splash?
Oh my God. What is that? Cardi B. Oh my God. What is that?
What is that?
Oh my God. What is that?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I hate that we view that as boring. That's why I said like I dated somebody who was great for me in my early 20s, but I was not ready for that man. He
Which
was
is real.
he was a good fucking person, and he, you know, I would argue he was a securely attached person. Like he is that type of person. Like he had a generally positive view of himself and other people, and he trusted me with all his heart and soul, but I wasn't there.
But you know what? That's real though. Like, I think that's the thing that we don't talk about enough in dating is, are you ready for a healthy partner?
Yeah.
Like,
Like
and that's,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I said I remember when I first listened to like Still Over It, and she put like the whole Sierra's prayer up there, and I was just like I know the girls are grateful that we got it, but at the same time I'm like, if I say this prayer and the Lord answers it, am I really ready for who He sent? Like, am I ready for a Russell?
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people don't really think like, can you handle a Russell? Can you handle um because I hate, I don't want to say, I hate when I say like, I'm not talking down on Sierra, but I just feel like men be so mad to see that she's happy. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
think, what woman be having men crying and throwing up?
Lori Harvey.
Yeah. Like, if you want a fucking Lori Harvey or you want a Russell, like, you need to make sure you are emotionally ready for that person. If you still carrying around resentment towards your ex, that's why I said people that, like, you have to honestly, like, that's why I said, like, if you're a serial dater, you got to explore that. Why can't you be by yourself for a minute?
For real. It's not healthy.
And I honestly feel like people sit there and they're serial daters and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm always meeting these people. I'm like, you've never taken time to just be with yourself and understand who you are so you can understand what you really need. But I'm like, you can't be with a healthy person when you yourself are unhealthy, have too many unhealthy parts.
That is true.
Because
That
a
is
healthy
very
person gonna be like, why are you shouting at me?
Yeah.
Why are you throwing things? I can hear. I have a mouth. We can talk. I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to convey. You will end up like messing up healthy relation or healthy partner because you don't know how to take it.
That's
I've had to
exactly.
learn that. I've had
Mhm.
to learn, like, I need to learn how to operate in healthiness before I can be in a healthy relationship, because I'm gonna take what I'm used to, which isn't functional, into a
Yeah.
relationship.
And that's what happened with me. Like, even down to the whole, like, why are you yelling? Like, we had plenty of situations like that where I was just yelling to make a point instead of, just talking with him.
Hmm.
But it's like the man was so patient. And I'm like, I be looking back at it to this day. I'm like, why the fuck would he deal with me? Like, I don't know. That was a problem.
But that's the thing, though, is that maturity is understanding, like, especially like you have to be single so that you can look back on why things went wrong, and then you can
Mhm.
really reflect on how to do better next time. So when people
Yeah.
say like you need to learn how to be happy single, like that's why people like are like, single, I don't want to be single. And it's like, no, you need to understand who you are as a person. And when you keep on jumping from relationship after getting hurt, so then you done got hurt from this person, now you taking that hurt into the next relationship, you mad at them and they getting punished for some shit that they didn't do. And meanwhile, it's too much compounding trauma and anger on top of stuff and not getting to the
Yeah.
root of the issue.
Exactly.
Because to me,
Like,
I'm like, why? I want to always ask people, like, when people say I can't be single for too long, I'm always like, you need to ask yourself why.
what is that?
Why can't you be by yourself?
Mm-mm. That ain't healthy.
You
Nothing
know what
about
I'm
that.
saying? Like, what is it about dating that you have to be like? What is it about being by yourself that you are like, no, I can't be single for more than X, Y, and Z time? I'm like, you need to explore that.
Because I view that as crazy as hell, because inviting another person into my orbit, I feel like I'm inviting a terrorist in. Like, I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? Like, I just be like, that's scary as fuck to me. So for people to be like, oh, I want to do that every other week, you're a crazy person.
And it's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand how you can have the energy to like invest in another new person constantly. Like, that has to get tiring.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I've known a lot of people that they were like, I would rather just keep being in like shitty relationship over shitty relationship than be single, because it just the idea of being single is so much worse to them than
Yeah. Why
taking
is
their
single a
time.
cuss word to y'all?
It's a cuss word to so many people. Like, they're like, I may be this, but at least I ain't some single bitch. And it's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the other thing is a problem. That's what I
It's like, at
think.
least I'm single, but at least, I'm not having a cortisol overdose every single day.
Yeah. Y'all really glamorize being stressed out all the time.
And struggle love, like, we really sit up here and look at people and be like, if you don't want struggle love, then you're unrealistic. Like, secure attachment to a lot of people is unrealistic.
I hate that though. Like, like when I first learned about attachment styles, it really stressed me out that like I had never experienced any portion of the way that this attachment style was described. Like, even from, because I think Mary Ainsworth, she did it more so from like a parent child perspective, whereas John Bowlby, he did more so the relationship perspective. And so, like, even from the parent child perspective, like I had never experienced any portion of that. And I was just like, that's so fucked up. Like, I don't know what normal or healthy is when it comes to relating to others. So it's like, in any relationship I've ever had, like, I don't know that it was ever healthy. Like, I
Hmm.
know I'm enjoying them. Like, I enjoy being friends with Cassidy. I enjoy being friends with Erica. Like, y'all really my two besties. you know, in addition to two others. But yeah. But yeah, like it's y'all for like I don't have nothing else outside of that. And to me, that's the healthiest shit I've ever been in contact with. Like y'all y'all love me because of me being me. And
Hmm.
that's why I was able to return that same type of love to y'all. But it just dawned on me. I was like, damn, I don't have many relationships in my past where I was really and truly just loved for being.
Exactly.
That
It
sucks.
it does suck. It does suck. Like people ask me, like, I mean, if someone wanted to ask me, like, when did you decide to really like tag out of dating? And I was on a dating app, and I remember this lady said to me, "I understand you now. You like you." And it was something she said to me, "You like you, and you are okay with who you are, and you just are expecting people to just like you are." And like for someone to say, "I figured you out, you like yourself, and you just are looking for someone to fall in fucking line."
Yeah.
And I was like, is it really that baffling to be like, why are you trying to change me? I'm good. All I need is for you to just be along for the ride and have
Right.
fun and go on the adventure with me. I'm not, too many people I feel come into relationships thinking they need to fix something.
Yeah. So many. That is so normalized. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, as long as I do this or I fix that, like, we'll be okay. And it's like, what if you really love that part of yourself? Like, are you really willing to give it up so that
Yeah.
you can be with this person? Like, is it possible that this is just not the person for you?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching Pop the Balloon or Find Love the other day because I
Oh,
don't know
God.
why, but I'm addicted to that show. It is so addictive to watch, but I'm not gonna lie, it will make your ass want to stay single. Um,
Really?
Arlette is the reason why I watch it because her facial expressions are so loud, and I feel like she is the audience surrogate. So that's why I love watching it because she basically gives the reactions that I feel like all of us are like, boy, what the fuck, or girl, what the hell are you talking about? Um, but it's like I was watching Pop the Balloon and Find Love, and I remember this dude was like, he had a tattoo that was based off of an anime show. And the girl immediately was like, "Oh, you like anime? I heard about y'all." And the guy was like, "What's wrong with anime fans?" And she's like, "What isn't?" And I was like almost screaming at my phone, "Pop the balloon, pop the balloon,
Wait,
pop
what?
your balloon right now."
What do you hear about anime fans that isn't like like that isn't positive? Like, I don't
I'm
know.
like, and especially like black anime fans, we cool.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who likes anime that I don't like. Wait. Okay, one person. But
There can be, don't get me wrong, there can be people who are freaking creepy about it. But I'm like, if they're an anime fan who is just like, this show is cold, these characters are cool, like if they're talking about it, like, because to me, anime was like the shows that taught me how important friendship is and the importance that you can build your family through friendships and mentors. So that's when I'm like, anime, people have stereotypes, but when she said that, I was like, please pop your balloon. This man is not gonna see peace if he dates her.
yeah. I, girl. Did he
That's
pop
a
it though?
he popped it. Like he immediately
Yay.
went pop. I breathed. I was like, oh thank God. Oh thank God. Oh thank God. Like I was like, pop the balloon right now. I want you to be yourself, sir.
Cause
I am
no.
very protective over anime, like over anime and video game men. I get so defensive of them because I'm like, let him have his hobby.
But you're not wrong though. Like, and that's another thing about like being securely attached. Like you're able to be like, oh, my partner has other hobbies or a life outside of me, and I'm okay with that. But like,
Exactly.
if you're not secure, like if you're not securely attached, I'll say you think like, oh, well, if they're not up under me, like it's
Exactly. it's a thing where it's like, and that's what I'm saying, like, and you know, as a person who still struggles with avoidant attachment, because avoidant attachment essentially means like you are always constantly waiting for something to go wrong. And so for me, I have a hard time getting close to people because I was used to getting close to people and something happening and then that person never spoke to me again. I never saw them again. Or like with my dad, when you deal with a narcissistic parent, love is extremely conditional. And you're taught that love is conditional. And you're taught that any mistake you make can essentially make people be like, that's it. You're gone. We're done. And when you grow with a
Yes.
parent that train with that shows you love like that, it screws up how you relate to others. So for me, I'm always like, I'm flawed as it is. So I'm probably gonna do something to make you leave anyway. So let's not even get that close. And I realized that I truly, like I was telling my mom about this, I knew I needed therapy when I was like 18, 19. Like this is when I knew something was wrong. I won't say therapy. I knew something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Back when Snapchat was still innocent and like before it got completely creepy. Um,
She
You
ain't
know what I'm
lying.
saying? Like before Snapchat was gross and creepy, it actually was pretty fun. Like you could literally just send goofy stuff to your friends, funny ass pictures to your friends, and then it would go away after a while. So this girl that I met in college, you know, she was so pretty and so nice, and we were cool. We had chatted. We always chatted when we saw each other. And then she would snap me on Snapchat privately. So I would open the snap, but I would be like, yeah, she didn't mean to send this to me. And then I would just ignore it and keep going. So one day I'm out and then she turns to me and she's like, you are the worst person to Snapchat with. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, I always snap you and you never say anything to my snaps. And I'm always like, and then I realized I was like, oh my God, she wants to be my friend. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand.
Yeah.
I was like 18, 19 years old, and I did not understand. Oh, this is a person who genuinely likes you and wants to be your friend. That's why they're sending you snaps. They want you to have that relationship. And unfortunately, like it was, and like I really like we didn't end up like becoming super friends. We were always friendly, and like she still is a super duper nice lady. Shout out to you, Diana. You're
Mhm.
super duper cool. But I think back on that, and I think that was the first inkling that I was like, I don't know how to relate to people unless they're
Yeah.
mistreating me.
I'm really bad with social cues too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how to respond to a lot of things. Wait, what? Wait, why did my video it was just like go away and then like come back. I don't know.
It
But
said
yeah,
bye.
I don't know how to respond to people like expressing interest in me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I either say the wrong thing or what I do say sounds like I'm not interested. When the truth is, like, I really was just surprised that you were interested in me.
Yes.
And so
Yep.
I sabotaged myself.
Yep. See, me, I always think like if I tell you this thing that I'm really interested in, are you actually interested or are you just making fun of me?
Right.
Like I'm always like, are you actually interested or are you just fucking with me? Like are you just gonna, because I'm so used to being interested in something and then people teasing me about it.
Yeah. Yep. That happened to me a lot as a child.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so crazy how trauma affects your life like long term. Like as a kid, I always got made fun of for how I dance. So then I don't dance anymore in front of people.
Yeah.
So people are like, how come you won't just dance? And I'm like, no, you're not gonna freaking laugh at me.
Like, girl, do you know how long it took for me to like publicly admit like I like to rap or I be singing sometimes or I like to write songs or just anything having to do with creativity. Like it was always very hard for me to admit. I didn't mind telling people or showing people that I like to dance because I was on the dance line, so it made sense. But like I remember being in the choir or the chorus, whatever you want to call it, and I was so afraid of my own voice. Like I remember my choir instructor, he was like, okay, so we're gonna start working on your solo. I ran away from that man for at least 2 weeks. Like, and it's
That
like
man is like, where is she at?
nothing in me was like, maybe he's saying this because you actually would be good at it. Nothing in me said that. I was just like, no, he's trying to embarrass me, so I'm gonna leave.
Right,
Like,
like it's a setup. You like, it's a setup. I don't like it.
it's a setup. It's a problem.
It's like Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you.
I don't like. I just remember that I just ran away from him, and like he was just like, "Listen, I'm not gonna make you do nothing. Like if you don't want to do it, whatever." But he really wanted to do that with me, and I was just like, "Damn, what if I actually would have went for it? Like, what would have
Mm-hmm.
happened? Where would I be right now?" Like
Mm-hmm.
to this day, I'm scared to even go to the studio a lot of times because there are other people in the studio. Like you need an engineer. I was like, no, I want to build my studio in the house like Summer.
Yeah.
I want to do the shit myself. I don't mind doing it myself
Right.
because I just don't want to be in the studio with nobody. Like, what if they're judging me? What if they think it's terrible? Like,
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, I've sent songs to people and they actually like them. So it's
They
like,
do. She really does make great music. Like she's one of those people. Like when you meet somebody that raps and you kind of hold your breath because you like, oh Lord, what's gonna come out? Taylor is one of those people that I genuinely got to have a sigh of relief. Like I was like, oh, thank God she actually has talent. Like if you've never encountered a person who is dead serious about being a rapper and the beat is fast, but they rapping is faster, you don't know like how to. It's that's a when you talk about people talking about how you tell somebody they breath is bad. No, how do you deal with a friend that wants to rap and they can't rap? So when I heard Taylor's first song ever with her rapping, I was like, wait, she actually can fucking rap. Like she actually has flow and lyricism. Taylor can rap. I'm not kidding. Like she genuinely can rap. Like she is somebody I would buy her shit. I would have her shit in my rotation. She rocking back and forth, but I would never ever ever vouch for a person that I did not think could rap. Because I have been around people who I know want to be a rapper, and I was like, ooh, Lord. What they say in P Valley, this is just some slaw.
for real, they do be saying.
They got me sound like that is some slaw. Not
Yeah,
Taylor.
we both have some platinum pins. Cause you definitely wrote the fuck out of this book.
And I don't like telling people I write because people make fun of you. I used to get made fun of.
Why would they make
Because
fun of you?
when you write about vampires and shit, especially when you're black, people are like, people turn on you. I've seen so many people who either roll their eyes at me or immediately the disinterest sets in after I said vampire. They were like, ugh. Like I saw a dude, his eye twitched when I told him what I was writing about.
I don't like that.
Like
Cause
black people,
to
like
be honest,
not. Go ahead.
I was I was interested either way. Like whether it was gonna be a film, a show, a book, I was interested either way. I was like, oh, this is good.
And I was like, I'm hoping that I hope people. I'm like, give me a chance. These are vampires for us. These are vampires the way we would truly be if we were vampires.
For sure. And it's just like I think we both have like that issue where like we are talented at what we do, but it's like our attachment injuries from when we were younger makes
Mm-hmm.
it hard for us to believe in our talent. And I genuinely hate that because like I feel like that makes life hard for so many creatives.
Yes. Yeah. Um, a lot of times too, when you're a creatives, a lot of us have been picked on for our creativity and a lot of creatives get fucking the shit bullied out of them.
Yeah.
So many creatives can have a story about getting bullied for their interests. Tony Hawk said, I used to get bullied for being a skater. Meanwhile, he's the biggest legend in like everybody knows what the fucking Tony Hawk is. Even if you've never set foot on a skateboard,
Yep.
you know Tony Hawk. Like you might not know who a lot of other skaters are, but everybody fucking knows skateboarding Tony Hawk.
I know
And
that nigga.
you know what I'm saying? Lady Gaga got bullied. Like he talked about how these girls put her in a trash can. I know them girls, every time they see her, I know when House of Gucci Kate went out, they was like, God damn it. To this day, I
Oh,
always think like, if you were one of the chicks that bullied Lady Gaga, I know you are eating your liver. Like, how do you feel knowing that you were a bitch to Lady Gaga?
hmm.
Because if you say to people, yeah, I used to know her, like, you gonna tell the truth of how you know her?
Just like all the people who was calling Lil Kim a hoe, basically on them TV shows when they run them videos back. I'm like, I know y'all feel dumb as hell now because everybody a hoe now.
But you know what though? I made a good point. My mom and I had a cool conversation. I said, "You want to know why I'm glad I had a good mom? Because I can always say y'all not handling this properly." Like I'm like before Cardi B, there was Lil Kim, and my mom never was in the house talking about how Lil Kim is trying to lead me astray. She simply said, "Lil Kim does not make music for your age group. You don't get to
Mm-mm.
listen to Lil Kim. You're not
Exactly.
listening to Magic Stick. I don't care what your friends' mamas let them listening to. You ain't listening to it. It's not for your age group." She ain't
Let me
say
tell
nothing
you
about Lil
something.
Kim being a whole nothing. She just simply was like, Lil Kim don't make music for your age group. You ain't
That's
listening to it.
that's what I was told. That's what
And
I
I
was
got
told.
older and I said, nope, I shouldn't have been listening to Jump Off. When you're 6, you don't need to hear about how she can make a Sprite can disappear in her mouth. You don't need to hear about that.
Yeah, but my parents was at work, so that's their fault. But
Right. Like, of course, when I got older and a little less supervised, and I was like, now let's figure this shit out. Let's see what's so scandalous. But it's
cause
like
baby, I was the definition of latchkey, baby.
latchkey kids, we were. If you were a latchkey kid, basically you got left unsupervised, and they was like, you know enough, you be alright.
Mm-hmm.
When I got
Soon as
old
I
enough to be left alone,
soon as I knew how to cook at least 2 meals, they was like, okay, cool, she fine.
she's good. When my parents started leaving me home alone, God, I used to love having a house to myself as a teenager, and I was the only child, y'all.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't. So I did have to babysit and shit, but I still listened to the music I wanted to listen to because I was just like, I'm doing all this work. The least I could be able to do is listen to what I want to listen to. You got me being a
Man,
whole adult before I'm an adult, so let me listen to some adult shit.
my dad was so pressed when I got my own iTunes account for the first time because I
Oh
was so sick of
gosh.
hearing his mouth about my music. He was pressed. And I loved it. He brought it up all the time when I got my own iTunes. He was like, tired of hearing about my mouth, huh? I guess. I was like, yeah, because I'm trying to listen to the non-clean version. I want to hear the cuss
Right.
words.
Hello.
I was so tired of, I hate clean. If you turn on a clean version in my car, I might make you get out and walk.
Cause it just, some stuff just it gotta have cursing in it. I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear the clean version of WAP. What is that?
No. It's this basically a instrumental.
There's some there's some, in this house, there's some, beat it, extra, and hit this
It sounds like you're
in
going
your
through a
face.
tunnel.
What?
It sounds like the service went out.
You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like a drop call's happening. Like what?
Yeah, you with some.
I want to, I want to, I want to, I want to touch that little dangly thing that hang in the back of in the back of the what? In the back of the what?
We don't know. We don't know. Girl, I ain't got time for that. But no, yeah,
We,
well, the thing about me, I didn't have a fully functional smartphone until probably like senior year. I was about to go to college. So
same, same.
it was hard for me to even do the whole iTunes, whatever the fuck thing. I had to download shit from, I was still doing that whole LimeWire thing. And
I was a jam
MP3s,
glue girly. I was a jam glue girly.
YouTube to MP3. Remember that?
Yes. Yes. You shit, I still use that bitch. What the fuck you talking about from time to time?
Listen, because I don't know how to put it on what we have now. So, I don't know, child.
Look, sometimes I make content and these clips ain't gonna download themselves.
I like that. I can
But
really to go. But yeah, that's how I used to download stuff. But
yep. But
okay,
I don't know. As a person, like I just feel like attachment style. You know, like that's not even. I feel like it is. Your attachment style starts at home. You
it do.
love the way that you are shown at home. If you are used to cussing and fussing and throwing shit and hitting, you're gonna do that in your other relationships. And then what happens is, I think, is that people meet other people who were not raised that way, and then they like, "What's wrong with you? This is Tuesday for
Yeah,
me." And I've noticed
yeah,
that it's bizarre when people look at you like, "What you mean you don't want to get hit? This is a Wednesday for me," and you like, "Yeah, we don't do that in my house."
yeah. And it's like what I want people to be clear about is it's how you treat the child that they carry into their adult lives. Because
Hmm.
a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, how the parent, how the mom treats the dad, or how the dad treats the mom." Because the reason why this even became a topic was because this guy who is nobody's mental health professional tried to school me about attachment and how, well, divorced parents, that does affect the child. And I was like, listen, I counsel these children on a regular. They don't give a fuck if y'all together or not. They
No, they
care
don't.
about how it affects the stability in their lives. Like, kids need stability, whether they want to admit it or not. That's why they act out when divorces happen, because the stability now has been shaken.
Hmm.
The foundation has been shaken. And so it's like when it fucks up the flow of their lives, that's why. Like, you have to think about it. Kids are selfish.
Which they're
They
supposed to be.
exactly. So I'm like, if you fuck up their schedule for whatever reason, it don't gotta be a divorce. It could be anything. Baby, they got an attitude. Like,
But guess
so
what? Because they're at our mercy. Because a child is at the mercy of the adult. So if we fuck up their schedule, they're pissed off because they have no choice but to rely on you. If you
yeah,
are their ride and the only way to get there is you, and you screw up, yes, that kid is pissed. Not because that, and not just because you screwed up their schedule, but because you were the only option they had. And that
exactly.
option, it was blown up before them. Like, I think people think that, oh, because you only care about yourself. No, I'm going to be very annoyed if the only thing that I rely on to do whatever it is I need to do falls through. It feels devastating because it's like, and I have to rely on you. If you
Yeah,
don't come through, I can't do anything.
exactly. And that's why I was trying to get old boy to see, because the reason why it became an argument was because he was trying to say that me becoming a single mom by choice would injure my child emotionally, apparently, because they have a father who's not there. And I'm like, how can they miss somebody who practically never existed? It doesn't make sense. Like, you literally signed a contract to not be involved. So I don't think my child would, and by the time they do start asking questions, they're a little bit more mature anyway. They're like 8, 9 years old. So they're able to understand, like, this was how you were born. It wasn't because I went and I did this with this person and this person decided not to deal with you. No, I chose to raise you on my own. A
Mm-hmm.
child at 8 or 9 is able to understand that. Um, so yeah, that's why this even became a topic, because he tried to make it about like divorced parents, but I'm like, that's not the same as a single mom by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just but even then with divorced parents, it's like it's based on how you treat your child. If you treat your child, if you're an anxiously attached kind of person and you're the parent, you might raise an avoidant child. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's how that works. Even like when you talk about the narcissistic borderline cycle, if you have a narcissistic parent, they might raise a borderline child.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how that works, and vice versa too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why we're speaking about this today.
So
I
it's
don't know if you have
avoidant,
anything to say.
anxious, secure. Is there? I feel like is there another one?
Yeah, it's four. So there's secure, anxious, preoccupied, avoidant, dismissive, and disorganized, fearful.
Okay. Okay. Because, yeah, I
So
definitely have the avoidant attachment. I am just so used to being like, I'm going to do something to piss you off anyway, or you going to find out about a hobby that I have that you don't like and get the ick. So let's just go ahead and dead this issue where it's at. Like,
I do be
you know
thinking
what I'm
that. I'm
saying?
like, yeah, you gonna leave anyway. That's cool.
Yeah. Like, I be a person, like, and I think that's what I still struggle with. Like, I have friends now, and my friends that are older, like, they're in their 50s and whatnot, they were like, you know, why are you so afraid to tell people like good things that happen to you? And I'm like, when you get like when you honestly are friends with a bunch of bullies, like when you're friends with your bullies, and we don't talk about that enough.
Girl, I was.
When your bullies are basically your friend group, you have a messed up way of relating to people. I was the biggest people pleasing, no self respect having simp who would drain her bank account and her gas tank trying to be a good friend. And then I would be upset when them same people wouldn't give me a goddamn bottle of water if I needed it. Why? Because for what? I expected nothing. I
Yeah,
asked for nothing. I wasn't a person. I was so low maintenance. They didn't need to worry about me because I was going to just take care of everybody else and myself. And I
yep,
thought about that and I said, no wonder all my friends ended up being my bullies because I was bullyable.
yeah. They would say those. They would do those slick remarks and talk about you like all type of slick, and you would just sit there and be like, ha ha, like
Yeah.
yeah. It's okay,
You hear?
you know.
Taylor?
Oh, it's saying reconnecting.
Taylor!
We'll wait.
Wow. That was rude.
There she is.
It just said bye. That's enough of that.
I'm telling you, it's mean.
I was like, oh.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what you call avoiding attachment right there.
Right. But like but one thing I want to say to people though is I'm like, these are the warning signs that you are in a friend group where your friends are bullying you. If people say it's fun to make you upset, it's fun
Yep.
to mess with you, you need to leave them people alone. That is the one sign I wish I had taken more seriously growing up. If people think that upsetting you or antagonizing you and then making you mad is fun for them, those are not your friends. People
That
who
was
love you don't want you upset.
that was definitely a thing for me in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a friend group like that really thought it was funny when I got upset.
Yep.
Like, and I was just like they don't treat each other like that. Why do they do me like that?
Yes. And like that's the one thing I don't think we talk about enough with bullying. Sometimes your bullies are your friends. And I'm seeing that with quotes. I have been in too many friend groups, even in adulthood, where I was like, oh my God, I'm being bullied. I'm not even
Yeah.
realizing it.
But you gotta think about it though. That can very easily happen for you if your first bully is a parent. Like somebody that's supposed to love you, care for you, protect you, and they're your first bully. Of course you're gonna end up with some friends that don't really like you like that.
And if you have a parent who bullies you and constantly says, you can't take a joke, you take stuff too seriously, you will hear it in your other relationships. And so what happens is that your parent teaches you getting upset when I hurt your feelings is an inconvenience. So when other people do it to you, you've been taught now, this hurt my feelings, but everybody else is having fun, so let me just shut up and laugh along. And that's how you end up with being someone like me who has low self-esteem into her mid-20s and ends up in bullying group after bullying friendship after bullying friendship. So finally you stop and have to say, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That I am letting, there's something about me that's making people feel comfortable to treat me this way.
Right. Cause I'm telling you, like, when I met y'all, like you and Erica, it was just something different. Like, it's like having friends speak life into you like that. I was like, it's weird, but I want to keep it. Like, I was like,
I
this is
like it.
Erica, I'm telling you, like, I used to have like issues like with body image and shit. Erica would be watching me like scroll on Fashion Nova, and she's like, "Why you scroll past that? Bitch, buy it." Like, I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I don't think I'll look at it. Bitch, buy it." She would not let me be scared of nothing. Like, she was like, "Nope, you gonna wear that shit today." Like, that's my fucking friend. Like,
If I text in all caps, that is me screaming my belief in you. I text in
yeah.
all caps to support people. I'm like, get out there and shine.
Like, he was like, post that freestyle, but you texted it in all caps. And I was
Because it
like,
was good. It's like, I'm
I
like,
guess I
post
gotta
the
post it.
freestyle.
It's like, I guess I gotta post it. Like, she's not gonna let me get away with not posting.
I will bully you into loving yourself. That's the only bullying I will do. I will bully you into loving yourself or being a better person.
I love that.
Or
That's
if you're
why
being
we
mean,
here.
then I will be like, do you understand how shitty that is? Like, I say I bully bullies, which really it is I'm just like, I'm going to make a scene about your assholishness.
I forgot what I was watching, but it was a show, and the guy was just like, "No, I don't let nobody talk shit about my friends, even my friends." Like, he was not playing. He was like, "Even if it's you talking shit about you, I'm gonna stop you because don't nobody talk shit about my friends."
Like, I like you. Can you be nice to yourself, please? Thank you.
Thank you. So, okay, since you brought up the avoidant, let's talk about avoidant dismissive. So, avoidant dismissive people tend to strongly value independence, and they also tend to emotionally withdraw from their partners. And they're very uncomfortable with intimacy. And when I say intimacy, I'm not talking about just sex. I'm talking about like just being close with your partner. So that could be emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, anything. Like just opening yourself up and being vulnerable to your partner, that makes an avoidant dismissive person uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think I have a problem of both undersharing and oversharing.
Mm.
Like, because unfortunately, when you're traumatized, your trauma kind of becomes like you're running jokes to people. But it's also kind of like my way of testing, like, are you going to stick around? Like, if I show
Mm-hmm.
you if I show you how deep one of the cracks goes, are you going to stick around? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, and like, I think that when you've had especially devastating betrayal, you kind of just get to a point where you have to learn how to like, it's okay if they're here, it's okay if they leave, but you can't keep going into every relationship prepared for them to be gone. And that's the curse, I think, of avoidant attachment. You're already prepared for their absence, so you never can appreciate their presence.
Yeah. Wow. That's because I know that's something like for me, I do strongly, I value independence a lot because I'm always prepared for somebody to leave me. It just don't want to deal with me ever in life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always prepared for me to say something or do something, even if it's small, and then the person is like annoyed and don't want to deal with me no more. So
Yep.
I I completely get that, like being so wrapped up in this person might leave that you don't even appreciate the fact that they're already there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They're there, but you know it's so hard because you're like, you're here, but how long are you really going to be here?
yeah.
And because you're already thinking like you ain't going to be here that long, now you're just kind of like, you can never fully be who you are because you've already prepared to lose them. Like, you walk into situations already emotionally checked out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always wonder, like, I'm like, I'm sure plenty of women have been like, why won't she talk to me? Why is she so scared to say her real raw feelings? I don't think I've really cried in front of a woman that I was romantically interested in.
I be
Jesus.
so scared to cry in front of somebody I'm romantically interested in. Cause I be thinking they gonna be like, oh, she too emotional, I'm gonna leave. It's so bad. It's so bad. But for real though, I really and truly be believing that. Like, if I show too much emotion, that person just gonna they ain't wanna fuck with me no more.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, especially when I've dated like male centered women showing emotion. Oh no.
Mm-mm.
Can you hear
So
me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
It's just saying reconnecting. I think it's probably because of like the video part. They
Oh, because
just
they were like, shut the fuck up.
they rude. I don't like that.
Like I was talking and I was like, oh, okay. I feel like I just got hung up on by an app. Like what? Like the phone
I
hung up
don't
on
know,
us.
twin.
Like
I
I'm
don't
sick of
know
hearing you bitches.
what to do. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You can hear me still?
Are you still there?
Hello?
Am I alone again? I'm alone.
I should probably do another one. Another link. You here?
Yes.
Okay.
At one point I was like, am I alone again? She's not answering. I'm alone again.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about anxious preoccupied. So, with anxious preoccupied people, we have a fear of abandonment. You should stop the recording and free up. What? Why would I do that? Okay. You still got
I'm
me?
just gonna turn my camera off and see if that helps.
It just keeps saying that low device storage. Device storage is running low. You should stop the recording and free up device data. Bestie, no.
Like, it's fine. I got it. Just do what I tell you to do. I'm
Yeah,
in charge.
you here for me, not the other way around. Okay. But yeah, so with anxious preoccupied people, we have a fear of abandonment, and also we have a tendency to become clingy and dependent during the relationship.
Mm.
I've definitely experienced this attachment style. Like I've been this person. I definitely fear abandonment, and so either I'm going to lean into it the most that I possibly can, or
Uh-huh.
I'm going to, try to avoid it by clinging on to the person as much as I possibly can. It just depends on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think being clingy, like, it's so funny. Like, I'm always like, I don't think I've ever, like, I don't know how to cling to a person. And so it's like, I'm like, what's clingy?
Hello?
But then I look at it and I'm like, well, I guess I've seen it before.
Smoking.
Taylor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'm always like, yeah, that's interesting. It's like anxious attachment to me. Like, I'm always like, man, that's stressful because it's like you can never relax and just believe that that person wants to be with you.
No. I've always been that way. Like, I just, it'd be surprising me. Like, you just interested in me? Like, you just want
Right.
to be here? I
Like,
don't
that
have to
is
hold you hostage?
stressful. The one that's called anxious, like, you really can never relax in your relationship.
No, never.
Whereas me, I'm like, you're going to be gone in about a few months anyway, so let's not even get too invested.
hmm But see, like for me, I feel like I experience both. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm anxious to the point where like I do be trying to wait, what? Does it still have us down as recording? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just making sure. But yeah, I'm anxious to the point where like I'm scared of being abandoned, and I try to hold on to you by any means necessary, even if I have to like people please to do it. And then I'm also like avoidant to the point where like I'm super independent and don't want anybody to, make me feel like I need them in any sense,
Hmm.
because they could definitely leave tomorrow. So I'm always like, nope, I need to be able to do this and that. Like the idea of like somebody paying my bills, that's the scariest thing to me. Like
Yes, because it's
I
control.
could I could never in my fucking life like allow somebody to just pay every fucking thing. No. My name gotta be on something. Like like I if somebody came up to me tomorrow, I'm gonna put you out of work, I'm gonna retire you. That's
Nope.
a fucking threat.
Exactly. That is an act of that is a threat of violence against me.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I think it's why like if you would like to be a stay-at-home mom, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I'm always just like, but also don't sit up here and just throw your entire life over to this man. Like that's my thing. Sis, I think you should still do a little something to keep some passive income in your own personal account.
Girl, because you just don't know what could happen. Like I just don't believe in it. I'm sorry. Like
It
when
makes me
when
nervous for women. It does. Like it's one of those things. Like, and I know some women are like, "You're just hating because you don't want to have a soft lifestyle," and I'm like, it ain't about that. It's just I'm like, I know how these men will do you dirty.
But you know what though? What a lot of people don't understand, you can have a soft life with just you and Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I am in a very soft era. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just single.
When I relinquished all control and gave it to God, I can't even tell y'all the amount of miracles and miraculous things I experienced. Like you do not need a man to live a soft life.
You
You
don't need
don't.
a partner, period. I'm talking to
Period.
even you femme lesbians. You do not need that lesbian with two different truck companies to take care of you.
You don't. You don't need none of
You
that.
don't need your stud to take care of you. Even to the studs, you don't need your femme girl to be a princess. Baby, treat yourself like a princess.
I'm telling you.
All of us. I'm talking to everybody. Like you don't need anybody. You like ladies. You do not need a person to put you in your soft girl era. I'm gonna tell you this right now. In this economy, we all gotta go to work.
We
I don't know
do.
how to say it. In this economy, we all need to go to work. It's too expensive to be out here thinking that we can just sit here and be at home. This is not the 40s.
This economy just ain't made for all that. Like you just can't do that. I'm
You know what I'm
sorry.
saying? And
It's
odds
not.
are, if you want to live the soft lifestyle on one income, unless that man is like making like high six figures, you still not gonna be living no soft lifestyle on one income.
Cause when I think about that, like if somebody come up to me and they like, oh, I'm gonna support your lifestyle, I'm gonna make your life soft. What I'm thinking is, if we got kids, we also got a nanny, maybe two.
Exactly.
If you want the house clean, you're hiring a maid.
Exactly.
You want food on the table when you get home, you hiring a chef. I shouldn't have to do shit. Like,
Or even then,
like
if I want to cook, you are making sure that groceries are stocked.
the
Because
groceries is
nowadays
in the
you can
house.
Instacart groceries.
I didn't have to go look for nothing. The shit is already in the fridge. We got everything we need.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, y'all talk about soft lifestyle, but I'm like, these men cannot give you the soft lifestyle you want. I'm like, y'all want a soft lifestyle, and these men cannot afford to give you that lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. When people are like, I want to be a trad wife, I'm like, okay, well, then you need to marry somebody that can truly be a trad husband.
I just feel like if we being realistic, like majority of people our age are not making that kind of money. Like
No,
if you don't want a criminal, you are going to have to accept the fact that your partner probably ain't gonna be making no no high six figures right off top. Like, y'all gonna have to work towards that together.
Even if they're a doctor or a lawyer, because they don't make that kind of money at the beginning of their career. It's going to take that doctor spouse like at least 4 or 5 years to get that attending salary. When they get the attending salary, it's a different story. But when they in
Uh-huh.
residency,
Mm-mm.
especially with lawyers, it takes time to get to them high profile senior partner and all that shit money. Them people don't be making that money overnight unless they're nepo babies.
Exactly. So we just have to be okay with the fact of like we might have to build together, and that's okay. Like
And
we're able to do it.
exactly. And you might need to just understand like your time, and honestly like your goals might not be unrealistic, but your timeline is absurd. And we don't talk
Hello.
about that enough. It ain't nothing wrong with your goals. It's your timeline that don't make no sense.
Why are we thinking we gotta have it together by 30, baby? 30 is
You know what
like
I'm saying?
we just got some sense. You know?
We just got our frontal lobes 5 years ago.
We just got a little bit of sense, like we still don't understand all of the things. Like I'm telling you, one thing I do not understand that a lot of people our age are like saying that they understand, or maybe they do. I don't know. Finances, girl, I don't get that. All that credit and stocks and bonds and all this. I don't get it, bestie. I don't, because I didn't grow up in a family that's focused on that. Like we were focused on paying bills, making
Mm-hmm.
sure that we got a roof over our head, making sure that we got food in the refrigerator, making sure that our lights not cut off, that our hot water is on. Like if you ain't never had to boil water for a hot bath,
Mm-hmm.
don't come to me talk about no finances. You don't get where I'm coming from.
Exactly. And I think too, like with this conversation of, well, what do you bring to the table? Like, if I hear that one more goddamn time,
Just, ugh.
but it's the thing though, where like if you have those attachment styles, like if those and you're working towards secure attachment styles, you need to. We all need to understand what the words of a person who can provide secure attachment says. And that's a person who says, like, all right, we are going to get through this together. We're going to figure this out. I am here with you. I'm going to help support you as you figure this out on your journey. What do you need from me to help you deal with this? But it's like when you aren't used to hearing the language of teamwork, that can sound strange to you and disingenuous.
Yeah. And that's the real goal. The real goal is secure attachment. Like all of this, oh, we want to be rich and we want to have the cutest postcards for the holidays. Like that's cute and everything, but I want a life that I like when them cameras ain't on. Like
Yes.
I ain't with all that other shit.
Like, do you want a relationship or do you just want social media pictures?
Do you want to just be impressive to your family? Like,
You know, do you want to get married or do you just want a wedding?
because I'll admit it, I was very happy when I like imagined a wedding for the first time. I was like, hell yeah. But then when I imagined having to go home with that person, I was like, you know what? I don't know.
Listen, I know people get mad at me when I say it like this, but I'm always like, you need to ask yourself. I'm like, remember, COVID had a lot of people realizing they did not like the person they married.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people, you need to ask yourself, if I have to get locked in the house with this person, will that be good? Will that be okay? Will we make it?
Exactly.
Could I get locked in the house with this person and it still be okay? Because that's the thing about COVID. Folks was like, I hate this bitch, or I can't stand this nigga.
I just want to bust this nigga ass.
Like people were like, damn, I actually have to deal with you.
You raggedy bitch.
COVID had a lot of people realizing I don't like you.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about disorganized fearful. So disorganized fearful is a mix of anxious and avoidant. And disorganized people tend to be inconsistent and unpredictable in their relationships. I would say I identify with this a lot more because I have anxious and avoidant tendencies. So a person really don't be knowing what the hell I'm gonna do or how the hell I'm gonna feel sometimes when I wake up.
I need to start doing more like TikToks of like an example of this in media. Because in Insecure, I feel like that's what that dude did when he just fucking up and left Issa.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's fearful attachment. Like, because what the hell? Like everything was cool and then he just left. Like people that do that, I think that's fearful attachment because that's unpredictable. Like, because those are the people you think everything is cool on Tuesday and you wake up and it's a note saying I can't and they gone and you're like, huh?
Hello.
Taylor? Hello?
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
girl.
Hey.
Baby girl. Oh. Wait, Cassidy, are you still here?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. I was thinking that song.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What song were you singing?
I was girl when when Drake was like, "Baby
Taylor!
girl."
Taylor!
I'm sorry, it was funny. I hate it here so bad. Should I repeat what I said?
Yes.
All right. So disorganized fearful is a mix of anxious and avoidant, and it tends people who with this attachment style tend to be inconsistent and unpredictable in their relationships. And I was just saying that I feel like I experience both anxious and anxious and avoidant attachment styles as well. Cause I fear abandonment, but I'm also like scared to lose people, and so I cling to them. So it's but I also like value independence to a point where I'm afraid to let people take care of me or help me out in those
Mm-hmm.
ways. So yeah, yeah, girl, that's where we are. All right. Did you have anything else to say about that? Disorganized.
Mm-mm. But I'm like, and definitely I'm like, I'm thinking about this and I'm like, I would love to do like videos where like, I'm like, all right, so let's talk about how we've seen this shit in our own TV shows, but not probably didn't realize what it was. And I'd
Yeah.
love to take like characters and be like, this character performed an example of the behavior of this.
Yeah, because you said, what's his face?
Yes, I'm like, that's fearful attachment right there.
Nathan. That's his name in the show.
Nathan.
Nathan
When
on
Nathan
Instagram.
up and bounced like that, I'm like, that's fearful attachment. One Tuesday, we cuddling, kissing, having sex, and it's cool. And then I wake up the next morning, you gone without a peep.
Yes. However, he was bipolar, and once he got medicated, he got a little sense. I fucked with it.
Yes. Which, as a person with bipolar disorder, once we get that medication, we are totally cool. I promise you.
Yeah. So I was fucking with it. That was me.
Mm-hmm.
But I could understand people not liking him because he did disappear because that was fucking crazy. But
Because that's jarring to do to somebody. Like, that is a jarring thing to do.
it is.
And if you've had that happen to you, to see it happen like in a fictional story, you're gonna be like, see?
I've definitely been ghosted and really thought I was the problem. I did something like I must have driven them away. So, but okay. So, okay, if we were to say somebody anxious, preoccupied, who would that be in a show?
Anxious, preoccupied. I'm trying to think like anxious.
Joan.
Oh my God.
Joan. She would cling till it ain't nothing to cling to.
There were so many, there were a few relationships where I was like, Joan, you 2000% drove that man away. When she dates that actor dude, Jackson Vance, that is the most
He
pain.
no.
That's one of the
He's
most
a fucking
painful
problem.
episodes to watch, to sit through.
That man was a problem. I can't just blame her for that. I'm sorry. He was a problem.
The no. That's Ellis. Ellis is
Oh yeah, that's
different.
who I was talking about. Ellis.
Jackson Vance is that dude she met and then damn near bullied that man into giving her his phone number.
Yes. Yes.
And then he thought he was stalking him. Like that is one of the most painful episodes to sit through because I'm like that, folks, is why anxious attachment is not good because
Yeah.
you will make yourself look like a crazy person.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I ain't without it. Yeah, she definitely pushed that man away because she just did too much in the beginning. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we definitely off of that.
Trying to think who would be a good example of like avoidant, especially in
Avoidant
black. Who would be a good poster child for avoidant? Derwin.
Derwin. Cause anytime anything goes wrong for this man, he go missing. He go silent. He don't try to
I
do it.
feel like the way Derwin strung Melanie along from the game,
Yeah, I
I
know.
yeah, because I always just felt like you mean to tell me that girl wasn't good enough for marriage after all them years with you?
I feel like this. The minute she gave up Johns Hopkins for you, you should have put a motherfucking ring on it.
Like I just feel like that's the least
Johns
you can do.
Hopkins?
If I was a pro football player and my partner moved to San Diego, left Johns Hopkins to do medical school in San Diego because I'm going to be a pro baller, I would put a ring on that so fast because that's somebody who's really down for you.
Do y'all know what the fuck Johns Hopkins like?
Not just anybody gets to go to Johns Hopkins, like especially for medical school. I don't think people understand how hard it is to get into medical school.
If you graduate from there, you you don't need no experience. Like
You
all
went to
you
Johns
need
Hopkins.
is Johns Hopkins on your fucking resume as your as the place where you got your medical degree, sweetheart. You don't have to work for nothing else.
It's like when you went to Harvard Law, you went to Yale Law. Like Johns Hopkins is up there when it comes to like what medical school did you go to? I went to Johns Hopkins. People are like, "Oh shit."
That's why I be telling people, I'm like, the name of a school do not matter unless you're going into the medical field or the legal field.
Yes.
Outside of that, it really don't matter. Like as somebody like trying to be a therapist, like I wish the fuck I would have gone to some fucking Harvard for what?
Yeah.
I don't need that. I could go to any school and be a bomb ass therapist. I promise you.
Mhm.
But as a
But
doctor, Johns Hopkins, that's top fucking tier.
but even in that, Melanie had anxious attachment. The
She
second
did.
somebody got you spying on them, showing up for them, doing this to this day, when I was a kid, when Melanie had that stripper pole and she took off her clothes as soon as Derwin came in and Malik and them were with her, I wanted to die for that woman because and of
She
course,
was trying so hard.
Derwin's mad at her, and I'm like, she didn't know you had your boys with you. Honestly, I would tell my friends, y'all need to get the fuck in your cars and go home. I got something to take care of right now.
Yeah. But he didn't
Melanie,
even want to do that. Like, oh, I'm in the middle of an argument with her. Like, don't come up here. It's Loki's fault.
like I just feel like the second a certain person got you humiliating yourself for them, you need to go. But
Yeah.
an anxious attachment will have you put yourself in some fucked up positions.
Yeah. And have you thinking like it's your fault.
Hmm.
Like he really made her think it was her fault. And that's why I was rooting for her and Trey Wiggs. Cause I'm like, girl, that man love you. And he got more money. Like but but he love her. You know, like he loves her for her. He don't care who she been with, what's been going on. Like he was willing to pay for medical school. Like I guarantee you, if that was her man from the beginning, she would not have had to leave Johns Hopkins. I strongly believe that.
But it's also like a man like Derwin will mess you up for the actual right man because you so
Yeah.
used to having to get breadcrumbed and beg for love that when somebody you don't have to beg for, you're like, what's the catch?
That man gave her apartment, a car, paying for medical school, and he hadn't even hit yet.
Wait, Derwin? I'm like, because Derwin wasn't even paying for medical school, was he?
He was paying for medical school, but he didn't get her own place in her own car.
See, and that's what I'm saying. You're an NFL player who had your girl leave medical school because of your career. I just feel like you should have made sure all expenses were paid.
Yeah, he didn't. Like she was still like taking care of everything in the house, folding all the clothes, doing all the laundry, doing all the dishes and everything. Like yeah, she was
That
taking care of
show had me like,
everything.
that show pissed me off so bad. Like, I knew as a young age, like, don't ever uproot your life for no dude because they will have you looking stupid.
Yeah.
And Derwin had, there were so many episodes where I'm like, are you trying to make me think that Melanie is messing up in this situation? Because all I do is hate Derwin. Honestly, Derwin's why I stopped watching the show. I hated that man. I hate him. He's why I stopped watching because I said, unless it's about him getting shot in the face and dying, don't call me about this show.
My problem child was Kelly. When a man is making you beg for funds for your child's 5th birthday party, go to hell.
And you're a professional, and I understand Jason was traumatized from seeing, from living broke, seeing
I
your
don't give a
your
fuck. Jason was top of the
no.
football food
That's what I'm
chain.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I understand that you're traumatized, Jason, but you are at the top of like you are a pro football player. You can afford to give your child a very decent birthday party. Quit playing. And again, I'm
Are
like,
you
when you
seeing
start
your
being cheap
daughter?
with your child, like I don't know, I feel like that causes more trauma because niggas are gonna grow up like my daddy had money, but we had to basically get through with the bare minimum.
That's why I didn't feel bad for him when Brittany started acting up. I was like, nope, you deserve all this shit.
Jason
You earned,
sucked.
you earned it. Like,
All honest, all of them men in that show sucked. Like honestly, that show made me feel like you probably should not date a pro football player.
to be honest, I was never really attracted to athletes. I think it's like after high school, I realized like they are only concerned with clout in their careers, and they don't give a fuck about much else. And so, athletes was never like top of my list after that. Mm-mm.
Every friend in high school that dated an athlete, or every girl I knew that dated an athlete, she was like going through it.
Bad.
Every girl that dated an athlete in high school, that girl, like you always saw that girl, like at some point in the year, her like
Crying.
bawling and crying in the middle of the
Sad.
hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. All the friends was trying to console her. I just remember that growing up. Like growing up, every girl that dated a high school athlete was put through it. Either your boyfriend was the sweetest person on the planet, or he was just a devil in a jersey.
A whole devil. They
There's
love
no in
it.
between. Either he was the king of kings when it came to boyfriends. Like I only saw two. Like either their girlfriend was a demon or he was the demon. I've never seen an athlete in a healthy relationship.
I'm gonna be honest. Me neither.
Like either he is getting abused because she has her claws in him and she sees dollar signs because she know he going pro, so she ain't letting that meal ticket go, and she is evil, or he is just the worst human being on the planet.
I've seen more cases
There's
where
no
people
there's
the
no in
worst.
between.
I've
Even
seen
as
like
an adult. Hmm?
yeah. Yeah, I've seen more cases where they're just the worst human being in the
I've
world.
seen both, and one is more likely than the other. One is like he's literally he is a walking piece of shit. But I
Yeah.
have also seen, I'm like, yeah, you finna go pro, and she ain't letting go of that meal ticket.
Cause I was wondering, I was like, how the fuck does a Ray Rice happen? How does that happen? They had to have been, enabled somehow. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, okay. So our anxious, we're going with Joan. Our avoidant, we're going with Derwin. Disorganized, fearful, we're going with Nathan. Who is somebody who is securely attached?
Aaron.
On what?
Aaron from Girlfriends. That was the woman that Joan was gonna marry. The man that Joan was gonna marry. Aaron.
Oh yeah, I remember
Aaron was
him.
the because Aaron to me, he was so like he didn't like holidays, but when he realized how much that meant to her, he went all out.
Yeah,
When he realized, like he at first was like, I don't do that shit, but then when
that
he
was
realized
that was
how
the
much,
one Malik Yoba, right?
yes, who
Okay.
ends up playing, he ends up playing both the best man in the world and also the worst man in the world because he's Mike in freaking Why Did I Get
Oh
Married?
yeah, so it wasn't Malik Yoba. It was that I forgot Mike, the actor's
Michael
name.
T
Who
like
played
Michael T. Jones or something like that.
Yeah.
Richard T. Jones. Richard T. Jones is his name.
Yes. So yes, okay, yeah. I remember that relationship. That was definitely towards the end. Okay.
That was just, and I think that whole situation is you have to be healed to deal with a man like that. Because remember, Joan talked about him for his apartment at first, and he was like, "Then you can
I
get the
remember
fuck
that.
on." Joan wasn't used to a man standing up for himself, and it made Joan have to think, "Well, dang,
She's used to either she's proving herself or he's proving himself. But
yes."
she's not used to, well, I ain't got to prove myself. She wasn't
She
used
had
to
never
that.
had a man that said, "I'm not proving nothing to you. I like who I am."
Yeah.
He was the first man that was like, "We don't need to get married at Camp and Neely. I want to get married at the Poo Poo Saria because that's where I fell in love with you."
Oh, I
And I
remember
was
that.
like, that secure attachment, that was an example of a dude when he really just want to be with you, he gonna be with you, and he gonna
Yeah.
show that he wants to be with you.
Yeah. I loved it at that. So yeah, securely attached. We're going with what's his name again on the show? Michael?
Uh, Aaron.
Aaron. Sorry.
You good?
All right. So moral of the story. My moral of the story is I think attachment is a spectrum, kind of like sexuality. So I think just because you experience one or you are exhibiting one does not mean that you'll never make it to the other. Like we all have the opportunity and the potential to experience secure attachment. So don't think, oh, well, I'm just anxious, so that's just where it's going to be. Like, you don't have to.
And that's the thing, I think for me too, is that once you identify, so my moral of the story, once you identify your attachment style is, if you realize it's anything but secure, don't just accept that that's your attachment style. I've known that I have avoidant attachment, and since then I'm like, I have to monitor when I'm just, exhibiting those behaviors, and I have to catch it. And you have to start thinking, what would a securely attached person do in this
Mm-hmm.
situation? If you want to be a person who shows behaviors of secure attachment, you need to understand what that looks like. And then before you react how you usually would, ask yourself, how would a securely attached person react in this situation?
True. That is true. I've gotten so good at just pausing in a situation like that pissed me off, but I'm not finna react right now. Like I'm just finna go chill and process real quick.
Mm-hmm. And your way of doing things, like just because that was your family's way of doing stuff does not mean that that was the correct way to do stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Cause let me tell you something. I don't want to build a life based off of just paying bills. Even though that's how I grew up, I don't want to build a life based off of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, let's get into shot o'clock / toke time. All right. So we're gonna say cheers to Mary Ainsworth and John Bowlby, who came up with the framework for this theory, girl. Attachment theory. Do y'all research. And real research, motherfuckers. Let me tell y'all
Not
something.
TikTok. God, it's seriously, honestly. And two, if you're gonna go to YouTube, look at channels of people who are licensed.
Yeah. But this is an easy way to run into some peer-reviewed journals about attachment theory, okay? All you got to
Yes.
do, go to Google, type in attachment theory, and then type in Google Scholar.
Yes.
And it will bring up peer-reviewed journals about attachment theory, and you will learn about it from academics who studied it. Yeah. Trying to help the people.
Yes. Shit, and if the article is too hard to understand, I don't know, copy that, paste that bitch into Chat GPT and said, explain it to me like I have a 6th grade reading level.
Yeah, and it will do it.
And
I
it'll do
promise
it. Stop making excuses to be ignorant. God. Stop making excuses to be stupid. You don't have to be dumb.
It's a choice at this point.
I'm trying
I'm
to tell
too
you.
drunk for this.
The intelligence is fast, but some of you motherfuckers is faster.
Oh my god, I'm too intoxicated. Okay, we're moving along. And that's a shame because me as a drunk person should not be more intelligent than half the fucking country. Okay? Y'all have to get better.
You know what I'm saying? I almost laugh. I'm like, the smartest people in the world be people that drink and smoke the most.
We fucked up.
Because we're like, why are you people so stupid? Why are you all so stupid on purpose? Do you notice like being intelligent and knowing there are people out here that are being dumb on purpose?
Listen, it's
That's the
not
most
fun.
painful part.
It's not fun at all. It's a hard life to live. Okay? Being an academic and being an intellectual, being around people that just choose to not even try, it hurts my fucking feelings.
That's why we're
I
all
used,
depressed.
yeah. I used to, when I would be in class, I used to be like angry at the teachers because I would be thinking like, you're not helping him read. But then after a while, I used to get upset because I'm like, no, you're not trying to read. And so I went from being mad at the teacher to being mad at the student because I was just like, you, my classmate, are not trying. And
Mm-hmm.
it's making me upset. Like, I know you're capable of more than this. And you're doing the absolute fucking least.
Yeah.
So, that's my TED talk on literacy in the USA. Let's get into our songs of the week. So my songs of the week are Flossin' by Mike Jones featuring Big Mo and Hollywood by YG featuring Shoreline Mafia.
I like it. I like it. I'm a
I'm
YG
fucking
fan.
drinking, fuck it.
I like it. I like it.
Oh,
My
this is a party. Okay.
my song is "Get Free" by Major Lazer. It's summertime and that's my chill song. But my turnt song, like my summer, like I'm outside theme song, is "Hot Girl Bummer" by Black Bear.
Okay. So you said Hot Girl Bummer.
Mm-hmm. This that hot girl bummer anthem, turn it up and throw a tantrum. This that hot girl bummer anthem, turn it up and throw a tantrum. This that throw up in your
That's by
Birkin
who?
back, throw up with someone random. This that social awkward suicide, that bio lick. How your likes, they said she had a man, but shit hit different when it's Thursday night. There's college dropout music, everyday leg day, she be too thick. Sorry.
So who is that by?
Black Bear.
Black Bear.
I
Let's
hate it
see.
because if I was into men, that's the kind of guy I would be into. And that's why I'm glad I'm not into men. Because if y'all think my mental health is bad now, my type of man, I'm like, honestly, I'm glad that I'm not into guys. Because I probably would be a lot worse.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. Because the type of guys I do find, I think I'm like, he's handsome. And I'm like, yeah, if I was straight, I would be in absolute hell right now. I would have dated like 5 drug dealers by now.
Oh my gosh.
And at least 3 drug addicts.
And see, my dumb ass, I would have dated the same people on accident. Like, I don't be knowing. I just be like, oh my God, you're interesting. And then I just want to deal with him.
Yeah. Me, I'm always the one, I'm like, I can spot a drug dealer. I'm trying to tell my friends, I'm like, that is a drug dealer. What do you mean he's in sales?
All right.
I'm like, I'm gonna need you to just have a little more common sense, baby girl. He is in sales, but he always got cash on him. He got Gucci and everything is paid in cash. Can you please think?
See, I was never told that. I never was, oh, I'm in sales. Like, no. It's just like last minute. They was just like, yeah, I'll be doing this, that, and the third. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
If he says he moves stuff, you need to get away from that man. He's not a mover.
Because why would you call this skinny ass nigga to move anything? Like, mm-mm.
I was watching Pop the Balloon and Find Love, and this dude, they said, what's your profession? He said, I cut grass. And Arlette said, so you're a landscaper? Like, she's trying to help the brother. Like, don't say that. Say you're a landscaper, man. Don't say I cut grass. That don't even sound like you make a nice living. Arlette be throwing bones at these people. Except for that man that has 6 kids. She told on him to everybody. She made sure, you have how many kids, sir?
Just running up my blood pressure. All right. Well, let's get into our quotes. So my quote is, every day is meant to carry its own story. And that is by Pierre Alex Ginty. Yeah.
This is an anonymous one, and it's just one that you hear all the time, but from women. This is a quote I've heard from too many women. Is, do not sit up here and make yourself smaller for any man.
Yep. I remember that from Christina on Grey's Anatomy. She said, you're the sun.
Stop making yourself smaller for these men. Stop making yourself smaller to be more digestible.
No.
You don't have to make yourself smaller for a person who truly loves you for you.
Yeah. I've been learning that the hard way. I look back at majority of my relationships and I'm like, I did shrink. I shrunk. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. That's why I say there's not that much difference between hetero relationships and lesbian relationships, because I'm like, I'd have been put through the same stuff by men and women.
Yeah. Haters is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's always somebody hating on you and don't want you to be who you are.
There's no need for gender wars. People fucked up everywhere. Fucked up people come in all types of shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm. They damn sure do. I wish I could just call they mama, but they mama probably more fucked up, so.
Honestly, that's the new energy I'm bringing in. We need to start calling folks as parents. Do you know what your son is out here doing?
No, I remember my ex-fiance tried to call my mama because we was into it and he was losing. And I was just like, I don't really know what you thought she was going to do. Like, My mama accepted that I was a fool a long time ago. Like when I was 16 years old. My mama stopped giving a fuck. I remember there was a time where me and my mama used to damn near fight about me getting up for school. And then one day, she just walked in my room and was like, "You going to school today?" She gave up. She don't care.
There you go.
So I'm like, girl, I don't know what you finna get. You think you finna get done calling my mama? Cause baby, she know I ain't got good sense. She gonna be just as confused as you. I don't know what to do.
Ooh, I smell food. Okay, yeah, we gonna have
Well,
to
with,
roll this up.
well, with that being said,
I'm like,
yes, that concludes today's episode of Wine, Weed, and Whispers. So everybody, drink your wine, smoke your weed, drink your water, love each other, be kind, and we will see y'all next week.
and heal.
Heal, please. Read your books.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.